whether or not they changed it or not.
Okay, that's the handbrake.
Oh, I'm being shot by the cops. This is a good start. This is a good start to a stream.
Moidoid.
This is what happens when you pull over at the side of the road and just sit parked there. Yeah, it was cops. I could see them turning up on the radar, and I knew they're going to shoot me. But I thought, well, I need to get the stream up and running, so I need to do all of this shenaniganery first. So
it's very American attitude that it's perfectly acceptable to be shot by the police while parked at the side of the road.
Yeah, I was quite literally not moving, and I just got shot.
Hey, there's that guy. It's you. It's that guy you are.
It's true. I am that guy that I am.
Was your character model black by any chance if you got shot by the police in America?
Actually, yes, I think so. I can't really tell from this this particular angle. All I can see is her hair, but I have a feeling.
Well, 10 out of 10 for real, isn't that?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Not sure if I have the internet to also watch the stream.
You're not allowed to watch the stream because
I was going to say that's yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, your character model is black.
That's true.
Okay, thank you for the confirmation.
It's a good thing I'm not allowed to watch the stream, everyone. I just crashed into a bush. Apparently it's a concrete bush.
Maybe I should open that map you all was talking about last time. Nothing pinned here.
Should be pinned, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, to an extent, you might be able to get away with just sort of following the blip and following, but understanding the shout-outs, especially the call-outs, especially when it's oh, a green police car. Run away! I've already been
They're
killed by the
now they're now helpful as opposed to required, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Now that we have the blips, it makes a hell of a difference.
Let's go for a
ride.
ride.
It's more, if nothing else.
That's not a taxi.
Yeah, close enough.
It's got in the name.
It's got one of the silly bars.
Johan, what colour are you?
Must be a taxi.
Sorry?
What colour are you?
Hot pink.
Okay.
All over. Lights, everything.
I've got pink or I've got brilliant rose.
Street lights.
Pink.
Is that like rose gold?
I don't like
It's a
this
very.
ride. I want to get off.
It looks quite like hot pink.
I want to get off Mr. Mark's wild ride.
In the menu, in the.
No, this is a different thing. This is a different thing.
Okay.
And Sophia or Peter.
I'm red.
Red.
Just
there is a
regular
red. Oh, there are many reds.
Oh, this is the blips on the map. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just chose just pure red.
Oh, I should actually be able to. I should make it so I can actually see chat, shouldn't I? There we go. Actually, that's just Twitch.
And the recoloring of the cars, is that? Oops, sorry.
Yeah, recoloring of cars should be automatic as long as you get in the driver's side.
Yep.
Oh, the blips are gone. Now I can't follow people.
Hello, Peter. Welcome to the stream. That's not the Peter who's playing, or the Pete who's playing. That's the Peter who's watching. This is going to get very confusing, but I shall try to make sure we only kill the correct ones.
Best name clan.
Oh, we only kill Laurence once, huh?
That seems very unfair. I think we should be trying to sort of thin the herd of Peters since there's so many of them. But yes, welcome to the stream. We're having
Mike.
Our initial sort of bit of a warm up and hoon around the city, trying to remember how to play this game because it's been quite a long time. I don't think we played it this year, so that means it's been at least 3 weeks.
Can stream hear us?
Ouch. Stream
yes,
should be able
and
to hear you.
the stream will now know that Laurence is getting his excuses in early.
I'm not making any excuses. I'm just saying I'm enjoying this little bit of warm up. I've gone into the tunnels. I didn't mean this is the problem I have. I've forgotten that you're not supposed to go into the tunnels. Ow.
Building. Buildings happen. Problems.
Same but opposite
problems
to me. Woo.
I'm in the rear-wheel drive car on the beach.
I may have had an accident.
It's not going well for me.
Do you need a towel, Pete?
If you can deliver one to Red Car Park, maybe.
I know the waves getting implemented. Hey, get off.
Are you saying you don't know where your towel is?
He's not a hoopy fruit.
Peter's not a hoopy. I'm gonna run you over because you're not wearing enough clothes.
Sorry, what? Gonna run you over because you're not wearing enough clothes?
I was only wearing shorts.
That's a new.
It's a fashion police strike again, yeah.
Apparently, yeah. It's some sort of morality police. Ow, that's a solid one. I'm not
I'm in
very
the
good
water.
at identifying which poles are solid and which ones aren't.
How do I
My
make the
MX
car go in the water?
My MX-5 is now only about an
Why-
MX-3.5.
Why
Go to the water
Poles?
and
Why not,
drive.
Slovenians or
No,
Romanians?
in water.
They're
Not
never,
go
they're
in the
never
water.
quite as solid.
Make it
Oh.
go in the
Police
water.
car is alarmingly quick.
Uh,
I've
oh,
always wondered if I'd be able to outrun a police car on my MX-5, and now it seems now we're testing this.
I think that kind of depends on the
British police
car.
car, yes, probably.
that did not help.
Especially if
From
it's one of those,
watching.
especially if it's an Astra. Do the police still use Astras? I can't remember.
Yeah, sometimes. I think.
I heard that
From
BMW
watching
and
several
red driving
police
might contribute to that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I'm
Yeah.
this car is pulling quite a lot to the left, and I haven't driven with it. As stated, I haven't driven with a controller for a few weeks. Bonk. But that was just not steering enough and being air.
Watching
Haven't pressed
several-
start recording, is that a thing?
Yeah,
Did no one said press start recording?
No, we haven't started recording yet. We'll do that
Okay.
shortly before we start to run. However, it is
Hello,
now 5 minutes into the stream, so to be honest, I think it'd probably be a good time to start recording.
Hello,
and probably start
chat.
to run.
Mike, what's my number, please?
01.
18999 88199
9119725
3.
Oh dear.
All together now.
537.
Thank you.
If I'd read out your actual mobile number, then would you have been freaked out? I asked this because you never actually gave me your actual mobile number.
Oh, he always gave you fake ones, did he?
Yep.
Ah, you noticed.
It's a standard trick when you go out clubbing, isn't it, to give people fake phone numbers? So I've heard.
Pete, it was the fact that they were all zeros. He kind of gave it away.
I'll try hard next time. I'll put a 1 in there somewhere.
It didn't validate when I tried to scam you on that web form.
I think I have him.
Do we want to do real cars mod at some point? I think it'll be a laugh.
You mean real world cars or real damage?
Real world cars.
Oh yeah, that's always fun. It makes it slightly more effort when I'm processing the videos because I haven't made cards for all of them yet. But,
Do it. Do it.
Far more
do
reason to do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
I'm full of bullet holes, but I seem to be just ignoring them like the Terminator.
Laurence, I don't know how to swim, you know that.
I thought
There
it was
we
me
go.
who had the problem.
Good
Traditionally had the problems with swimming.
Can't swim.
Can't
Well,
swim, won't
well.
swim.
Fancy that. I think it's my headphones that are going boop boop at me, and they may be running out of battery.
That will not be ideal, but at least you're not the one streaming.
No, I thought I plugged them in.
Peter says it depends on the drive of the police car. If it's orange, then I'll probably be able to get away.
Ooh, ooh,
So harsh. So true.
I plugged them in, but it has tethered me.
Oh, Mark has worked out how to swim, but not how to get out of the water.
Oh,
Excellent.
you pushed me back in.
Did I? Not deliberately, but okay, I'll take that.
Here we are. Police don't want me now because they shot me.
That's how it works. The police believe in reincarnation, but they don't believe in original sin.
Just pulling that old insurance scam where I run out in front of the car.
Yikes!
No one hit me. Didn't see
Are
that.
we,
Oh yeah,
Ow.
let's start the recording and start a run because that's kind of why we're here. So yes, is everybody ready to start recording? That's the first question.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
50-50.
Oh dear. Okay, well let's start recording in 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
Right. Oh dear.
And then everyone
Go.
say go at the same
Why
time.
do I have a
Oh,
wanted level?
Because
Because
someone
you're
wants
Laurence
you.
and
Because you're wanted.
are being
apparently.
hunted.
You're highly sought
I
after.
tried to get a boat into the water. Like I carjacked a thing going a boat. The boat's in the water, all right, but it's upside down.
Will you indicate, please?
Well, hello, Pete.
Right. Should we just start a run? And see how things go.
Yeah,
Do
let's
we
do
want
it.
real vehicles?
I think so.
Pete certainly
yes,
does, 'cause then he can drive a
except for
Jag.
Pete needs imaginary ones.
Uh
Yeah. I saw that.
Right, this might be real world
car.
vehicles now. I'm not sure. Or at least some of them.
Lead with confidence.
No,
I
this
think I can see an oracle.
No dear.
no, this isn't.
Are you sure it's not a BMW 5 Series?
No.
No, I see your Dukes.
It's not going to be all
no,
real
I know the
world.
one.
It's not usually, or at least it's not usually all real world. It's just at least some of them are real world.
Hey, I was getting into that car.
Just doing a bit of parkour on those steps here.
Hello, Josh, and did I say hello,
there we go.
Caladrian? I can't remember. Hello to Caladrian, anyway, just in case I didn't. I'm sure I said hello to Peter. Let's have a different player model.
Hello.
I've seen that one. Not you. Stop shooting at me. We haven't started yet.
Whoa! Don't use your elbows when climbing on walls. Wait, did you know nothing?
The cars are not getting colored in my red color.
So that doesn't get specifically turned on until we start.
Oh, got it.
I will have this car, please.
Oh, a car I don't recognise. Maybe it worked.
I'm not convinced, but maybe.
Is this a Chevy? No, it's not.
You can get out.
No, it's not. I don't think it works.
We'll start a game anyway.
Mine's got a diamond on it.
Oh, I've done the pointing thing, and I
It
can't
looks like the
never
Warner
remember how to
Brothers
turn that off.
B.
Nope.
You also want to do something about the blips, Tristan.
Oh, that'll get removed when we start.
Be on
you
your
automated
keyboard.
that.
Be on
Laurence.
the
Ages ago.
keyboard. Okay. Ah, there we
Ah,
go.
yes.
Well, I like the idea that you just be on control and jump to a note, and that's not it.
Yep.
Hello,
It's punch,
policeman.
not jumping as well.
I don't have a controller.
Mike is out of control.
I am out of control.
What? Is somebody on the map as a J question mark? Or is it somebody
Yeah,
else?
there's no J without a question mark.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, what?
Oh, so that's me. I can't see myself because of the
You
arrow.
might be J, we're not quite sure, so you've been given a question
Ow.
mark.
These handbrakes are really effective.
Are people ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Never
sir.
ready.
Yeah.
Just
Never ready, the new battery's what's the name? Woo, a Voltic, just what I wanted.
how do you play?
I will kick Laurence
Badly.
out. Chat. Bye, Laurence. Have
Bye-bye.
fun.
See, ooh, what's that? Yep, we do have real world cars. That's a Mercedes SL something or other. Let's take that. Let's jump straight in with sports cars because why not? There we go. An SLK 55. So I would say this is my real world car. It's not really anymore because I've kind of switched out for another one. But anyway, never mind. So yes, hello everybody. Welcome to Laurence Plays, and we're playing Manhunt Checkpoint because it's a Friday. At least it is while I'm playing this. If you're watching the video, you're probably watching it on it's probably a Thursday when you're seeing it. But yes, we are playing Manhunt Checkpoint, and that means I'm going to drive around the city and try and find some checkpoints. 5 of them will appear one at a time, and if I manage to take all of them, then I win the game. Now, to make things a little bit harder for me, there's a posse of hunters wandering around the city as well, and well, there we go. There's the list of them. Green light, let's go. Why does it say origin? We should have randomized checkpoints turned on. Maybe we haven't. Anyway, there's lots of hunters, so that's going to probably make the game a little bit harder. I imagine, although I come to think of it, I didn't really check this before we started. I imagine there is a circle on the map. Yes, there is a circle on the map. I've just been told how big it is. And that's going to gradually shrink over time. But that circle, I'm always going to guarantee to be inside the circle, because as I move around, the circle moves with me in order to give the hunters a bit of a clue as to where I am. That's because it's a big old city, and so it would be rather hard for them to find me if they didn't have any sort of clues. So, there's one of them over there. I saw a purple car go past. The hunters will be nice and easy to spot because they're all going to be in brightly coloured cars. You may already know this if you've seen any of these videos before, but you know, while I'm waiting, there's another one in the green, and possibly in the yellow. Probably not though, because I don't think we've got Ed yet, and also it's obeying traffic laws. Yes, so what was I saying? Yeah, they'll all be in brightly coloured cars to make it a bit more obvious, partly who's a hunter, partly to make it a bit more obvious who's who, so you can tell the difference between, say, Mike and Tristan. That's probably Mike ahead of me in the orange there. And it makes it a bit easier for them to spot each other, so they're less likely to have friendly fire, which is, from my point of view, perhaps a downside, but I think it probably makes the game a bit better. And from my point of view, it makes it easier for me to spot them and identify them. So when I see an orange car coming towards me like that, I can go, oh no, it's Mike. oh well, never mind, it doesn't matter, he's gone past me. And if I see a purple car, I can go, oh yeah, that's Tristan, and so on and so on. I'm getting impatient, to be honest, because I don't want to just spend the whole game sitting at traffic lights. So let's keep going. I need to get up to the origin checkpoint, that's clearly a player, but they haven't coloured their car properly. That purple car up ahead is probably Tristan, that green one will be Pete. So we've got lots of hunters in the area at the moment, and this is because, as I said earlier, I have the circle that gives them a bit of a clue as to where I am. The hunters will start scattered more or less randomly across the city. I'm going to get out of here because I don't like this. There's too many hunters around. The hunters will start randomly scattered around the city, so they could start anywhere. However, they will quickly hoon over to wherever the circle is. So within a minute or two of the run starting, there'll probably be hunters in the area. Simply because the city isn't that big when you're not obeying the traffic laws. If you just put your foot down, you can get across it pretty quickly. There's no hunters behind me, so I'm going to run these red lights. And then I'm going to get on the highway, I think. Not because the highway is a particularly good way to get to the first checkpoint, but because it enables me to move quickly and get away from this area. Actually, I won't be getting onto the highway because there isn't a way onto the highway from this junction. Although I will turn left here because the lights have just gone green. And, oh yes, here we go. This junction will allow me to get onto the highway, so I can actually do my previous plan. Now, the problem with driving quickly is that the hunters will probably guess that I've gone onto the highway because well, a couple of things. I don't generally move that quickly when I'm not on the highway, and even when I do, I tend to end up having to slow down fairly frequently for corners, other cars, and just general miscellaneous obstacles. So it's usually a bit of a giveaway when I do get onto the highway that that's what I've done. However, I think it's worth it because it means I can cover a lot of ground fairly quickly. Cut up that whatever it is. That's a felon. Okay. No, hang on. That might be a jag. That might be an actual jag. Okay. So I've made some good progress up the city there by, as I say, getting onto the highway and just covering some ground. That will give the hunters a bit of a clue that's what I've done, though. So they'll probably be zipping up this way, maybe on the highway, maybe not. It kind of doesn't really matter because it's all going to take us to the same place anyway. But I can now come off the highway here. This is a bit further east than I really wanted to be, but that's due to the limitations of where the highway system takes me. So, I mean, it's okay. I'm not that lane, this lane. Let's keep going. This lane this time. There we go. Now that is an orange car, but I don't think it's Mike because it's not moving. Mike tends to not stop moving very much, so I don't think that's him. Can I put my roof down? No I can't. Okay. I'm pretty sure the SLK is supposed to be a convertible, but apparently this one isn't. But never mind. I mean, you know, it's a nice fast car. It's got good handling. It's a sports car, so this is going to be a pretty good car for my purposes. Yeah, so the circle, I think it's been a long time since we defined how the circle works. I want to say it's about 20 minutes to go from full size to inconveniently small. However, when I take a checkpoint, I get a little bit extra circle. I think it's an extra 50 meters or something like that. So in theory, as long as I keep picking up checkpoints, I should have a decent amount of time to complete the run. Mike is investigating me. Tristan is in a truck. There's a couple of them around. I don't really like this. There's a red one there as well. There's a lot of hunters in the vicinity. I think they're suspicious. Yeah, they're definitely suspicious. Okay, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going to get out of here and try and lose them. Now, I'm in a significantly better car than they are, vehicle than they are. So Mike was in I think it was a Prairie, which is a not very good sedan. Tristan's in a truck, so he hasn't got a chance of keeping up. There was something else knocking around. I'm not quite sure what it was. There's something red that was another hunter. Bonk. Unfortunately, this does mean that I need to find another car, and it basically now needs to be a sports car because the hunters have seen me in a sports car, and that means that they will now start driving sports cars. They wouldn't have done beforehand, but now they will. Ooh, there's Pete. Let's avoid him. That did not go quite as intended, and there's Tristan as well. Now, Maybe Pete didn't see me actually. Let's. Is this alleyway a useful alleyway? Can I disappear down it? Kind of, but not really. Oh, maybe. I don't know why I'm still using. I think I might just ditch the car, to be honest. The car is not going to be my friend at this point, I think. So we'll sneak out here. Now the problem is, the hunters are going to see that I've suddenly basically stopped moving, and they're going to know that that means I'm on foot. So the hunters can tell how fast I'm going, because the hunters can tell roughly how fast I'm moving because the circle gets smaller the faster the prey drives. So they will have an idea at the moment that I'm moving quite slowly, which means they'll be on the lookout for pedestrians, and they'll also know that I've probably changed cars. Now I think I saw something worthwhile in this going into this car park, which I'm planning to steal. Nope, I take it back. There is not a car in this car park. That's unfortunate. I may end up having to just walk over to the checkpoint, unless something pulls up next to me. I don't want that because, to be honest, I'll be worse off in that than I would be on foot, probably. The hunters have started shooting because that's what the red circles on the map mean. All right, actually, let's take a car. I don't like being on foot. It feels dangerous. Apparently, there was nobody in that car. I'm not quite sure how that works, but still, never mind. Yeah, driving like an AI takes quite a lot of concentration, and I'm actually not as good at it as I would like to be. There goes Mike. Shall I take the checkpoint? I think I'll take the checkpoint. So I have to be more or less stopped in checkpoints in order to take them. But now I've got that one, I can shoot off this way and then down here, and hopefully Mike will come running back up there, looking for me, and not find me. So let's actually turn right here, which is probably foolish because it takes me back towards the scene of the crime, as it were. But also it means I can just pull up at this junction here, and hopefully, there's a green light, and we'll see what happens, basically. So far, it's been reasonably quiet. They've shot at a few people. They've scared some civilians, but basically things seem to be more or less okay. If it's still quiet, I'm going to nick this felon. There's a red car over there. That's another hunter. If I do a car change here while he's right there, he's going to notice. We've got a green light anyway. I guess we're going. I do want to upgrade my car because this one isn't very good. But I have learned from experience that trying to change cars on a busy road like this is often unwise. But let's see if I can pull it off quickly. Can't pull it off quickly. Damn it. Right, let's get off this busy road, go up here, and try and find a car to change to. Yeah, I tend to find I drive in two very, very different ways. Like there's a sort of a way I'll drive when I don't think there are any hunters around and I'm being fairly gung-ho about it. And then when I think the hunters might be in the area, then I'll drive a lot more carefully. And I don't seem to really have an in-between where I'm driving fairly sensibly, but not absolutely, but not perfectly. I need to sort of practice that a little bit, I think. This car park looks promising. Let's go in here. What are you? That's the same as the one I've got, but over there is a felon. Let's have a quick upgrade to the felon. It's going to mean a broken window. Oh no, it's not. Awesome. I should probably put the roof down because I think AI vehicles during the day when it's not raining do tend to have the roof down. So I'll do this, then zip back out onto the road and head down south because the next checkpoint, as it says in big letters at the bottom of the screen, which I haven't acknowledged yet, the next checkpoint is down by Red Car Park, which is actually not too far away. This isn't going to be too bad. Whoop. So I'll pull up behind this ruiner. So basically I need to go straight on pass through that building ahead of me, across the highway, and then on the other side of that is going to be the next checkpoint. There goes Mark flying across there, and Mike bimbling around, pulling U-turns in the middle of the road there. They're going away though, so far things seem to be okay. Oh no, Mark's back again. And as predicted, they are all now driving sports cars because they're allowed to at this point, because I have. I acknowledge that I'm driving towards Mark, and this is possibly unwise, but I'm going to do it anyway because this is the direction I need to go. He doesn't know that, of course, because the hunters don't know which checkpoint I'm going for. But we'll have to see. If I come down here, I'll pull up at these lights. Because a stopped car is probably less suspicious most of the time than a moving car, because it's harder to do something wrong. Oh, and there's Mike in the next junction, investigating traffic. Is he following me? He is following me. Okay, I don't like being rammed and investigated by hunters. So I'm going to try and run in a reasonably AI-like way, which means basically trying to stay on the correct side of the road and in the lane. Yeah, that seems to have worked. Although there's a Mark who's looking faintly suspicious. Oh no, he's gone away. Excellent. This is going well so far. So I managed to run away from Mike in a sufficiently AI-like way that, because the AI do run away. So if you ram an AI car, sometimes they will panic and they will run away from you. And apparently I did that in a convincing enough way that that Mike did. Oop, there he is again. That Mike didn't twig. Now, as I was saying, I've noticed a couple of those hunters who've been bimbling around this area are driving sports cars, so they are in better cars than I am, and this could be a problem if and when I get investigated. There you see Tristan's driving. I don't know what he's driving. Yeah, okay, I'm definitely getting investigated by several of them, and I'm stuck on these steps. That's not good. Car got stuck on the steps and I couldn't escape. Still, oh well. I guess I got rammed. So maybe I should have ducked when Pete hit me. I don't know. And I appear to have respawned in jail, which is mildly amusing. I don't know. Maybe I should have tried to play dead when Pete hit me, but that normally doesn't work because there's a very obvious difference between playing dead and actually dead. Was that just a lucky hit, Pete?
Nope. My kid zeroed me onto you.
Oh, okay. I thought I got away with it from Mike spotting me because you drove off. But
I was trying to, as you may have seen, I was having fun with my compact. I couldn't actually nudge you properly. I was just doing it. Here's a nice vehicle. I was doing a check for a voice line. I missed embarrassingly. Oh no, that's going to be on screen. Oh no. So it was just a massive check fail for ages. Eventually I did, and then so you reacted about right. I was like, yeah, it's probably fine. Then you ran a red light. I was going, oh, maybe not sure.
Right.
So I followed along a bit.
I was trying to be an AI who'd panicked because he got rammed, but yeah, maybe it wasn't quite accurate.
It was enough for me to not be overly. But then I saw the exact same car a few seconds later in sort of a plausible path, and I was like, I think it's worth another check because usually cars despawn.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's just because it's a bright white.
Yeah.
And then Mike did a strategic thing, and getting us to his position first.
Yeah, that makes a change. Oh, the checkpoints weren't randomised, by the way. They were.
No, I realised that.
Fixed,
yeah,
they were fixed ones. Okay.
Realised that when you took Origin.
Yeah, I've been a bit of a giveaway. Okay, let's go again. Actually, I'm going to take my jumper off first, but then we'll go again.
I'm going to get a glass of wine.
Is that the problem?
BRB.
Ooh, that's the problem. No wine. No alcohol in this game.
Have you set
Not
your
that
skin?
I have no
Lawrence?
idea how to play it. And
Oh, he's probably got his headset off.
Yes,
gonna
clearly the
park up
jumper was
against
the problem. I got too warm, so I couldn't play properly.
Have you set your new skin?
Yes, I have.
You're not wearing your Laurence Place shirt. I'm most disappointed.
I'm not. No, maybe I should be.
I've actually parked behind Mike.
But you wouldn't be able to
No,
tell because it'd be off the bottom of the camera anyway. But no,
I
I didn't
even
plan
know
that
that.
far ahead, I'm afraid.
Ooh, I got spawned in the road amongst traffic. That's not much fun.
Bye, Laurence.
Bye bye. Well, starting off with quite a good car initially worked quite well last time, so let's do it again. Is this actually a Schwarzer? Okay, so we have unlocked sports, but they're not going to be sure because they can't tell the difference between Schwarzers and Shafters. So, hello everyone, welcome to Laurence Plays, where we are playing Manhunt Checkpoint. This is the game where I drive around the city trying to collect checkpoints. There will be 5 of them. I'll be told about them one at a time, and if I manage to take all 5, then I win the game. In order to make it a little bit harder for me, there are some hunters wandering around the map. They will be trying to trying to hunt me down and stop me from taking the checkpoints. And if they manage to do so by shooting me and killing me, then they win the game. If I manage to take all the checkpoints, then I win the game. It's nice and simple like that. I am currently actually driving away from the first checkpoint, but here's a convenient red light, so I'm going to stop here and have a bit of a look at the map. That's the wrong button. And find out where it is. Okay, over there. Right. Let's get onto the highway, deliberately overshoot it, and then drop back in to get it, because hopefully that'll confuse them a little bit. And if I'm going to be driving a sports car anyway, let's drive a slightly better one. There we go. And if I'm going to be blatantly stealing cars, also let's not hang around. So yes, as I say, the idea is for me to drive around the city, picking up the checkpoints. The hunters will be out looking for me, and if they find me, they will give chase. If they don't find me, then that makes the game a little bit easier for me. So I shall move a little bit more quickly. To help them find me, they have a circle that appears on their maps, and they know that I will always be somewhere inside that circle because as I touch the edge of it, the circle will jump. The circle will also occasionally jump just for fun because it decides it wants to, and that helps to make it a little bit less obvious that the car that has just crossed the edge of the circle is in fact me. We've played this thing quite a bit and tried to make it a little bit more balanced through all these sort of tweaks and changes. So now as I'm on the highway, I can go a little bit more quickly. There is Mark coming down onto the highway in a sort of somewhat catastrophic way. I suppose this means I should probably drive at normal highway speeds rather than absolutely putting my foot down. At least until I get to this corner. Then I'll put my foot down a bit because he won't be able to see me. Try and get some distance on him. And then slow back down to sort of the same speed as the rest of the cars around me are doing. My theory is that hopefully that'll have got me a little bit out ahead of him, and if he sees this car, he won't think it's me because it's doing normal car highway speeds like all of the rest of the traffic. And the highway is a nice way of getting across the city. You can get around quickly when you're on it, but it does make it really, really obvious where you are and what you're doing because the circle will jump fairly quickly across the map, and the circle does change size based on the speed of the prey. So the circle is going to be relatively small at the moment. Now there are a couple of options here actually. No, let's carry on. I'm going to stick with my original plan because I think trying to distract them by driving over to the other side of the city, then looping back round to get to the checkpoint is probably going to be quite a good play. The other alternative would be to come off at this jump here that I've just gone past, and that would allow me to drop in, take a bit of a shortcut down to get to the checkpoint. But if any of the hunters are around and see me do that, it'll be really, really obvious that this car is me, because believe it or not, AI cars don't tend to go off jumps. That said, I think it's pretty quiet here, so I am going to go off this jump. Took that nice and smoothly at a sensible speed, so I didn't mash up my car as I did it, so that's good. Now if I come along here, no, I don't want to turn right there. I want to get on the bridge to go back over the storm drain to get back into the main part of the city. So if I come along here, join the queue here. Now my hope is that through having done all kinds of weird things to get across the city like this, and then turning back, going back the opposite direction from where I came from, that's going to really confuse them, and so it's going to make it a lot harder for them to work out what on earth I'm doing, and therefore they're going to have lost me. I don't know if that's actually going to be the case. They may well get an idea, or they may just blunder into me through sheer dumb luck. All these things are possible, but I feel that trying to be a little bit sneaky is a good ploy. So I want to turn. Yes, I want to turn right here. Oop, that wasn't very smooth. Can you tell it's been at least 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks since I last played? I certainly haven't played this year. And there is the checkpoint. So I'm going to stop. I'm not going to stop at these red lights. I'm just going to drive through, stop here, take the checkpoint. Right in front of Mark. That was unfortunate. I'd pressed the button before he appeared, unfortunately. Let's duck into the train yard. This is going to be extremely dangerous if he's seen me. But if he didn't see me come in here, this is a good hiding spot. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to wait here for probably less than a minute, just to let the hunters sort of assume that I've driven off. But the problem is, though, I'm not because I'm because they'll see the blip on the map and notice that it's not moving particularly fast. Right, that looks like the main big bridge across the what's the name? Okay, let's get going again. So for this checkpoint, I want to get onto the highway, and the nearest place to get onto the highway is the ghetto. Is the road north of the ghetto. You can just see it a bit ahead of me down this way. If I can get onto the highway, this is going to be a bit of a long run around the highway, and I apologise for the lack of interest in that. But it'll keep me away from the hunters quite nicely, so I think that'll probably be fairly worthwhile. I suspect this car is going to stick out a bit in this area, especially once I get up to the ghetto. Oh, there goes Mike. That's okay. He's going away from me. Yeah, I need to go another block, and then I can start thinking about getting onto the highway. So the nice thing about the circle is it does. Oh, I could turn the circle off. No, I don't think I need to. I don't think I need to turn the circle off at this point because I'm not in too much of a chase. There are no real rules regarding exactly when I'm allowed to turn the circle off. However, I literally can't take checkpoints when the circle is turned off, and it would be blatantly cheating to take a checkpoint just after I've had the circle turned off. Oh, I can turn right on a red light, can't I? Because this is American. Yeah, so I generally reckon on only turning the circle off if I'm in a significant chase, I'm struggling to get away, and I think it would help. I can turn it off basically any time I want, but normally I will generally only turn it. I will leave it on most of the time unless it feels like there's a good reason to turn it off. Because, to be honest, if I'm in a chase and they can see me, turning the circle off doesn't help because they can still see me. I haven't got my lights on. Let's do that. That'll help a bit. Make me a little bit less obvious. Or a little bit more obvious, but in the same way that every other AI car is obvious, rather. Yeah, so basically the idea behind turning the circle off is that I'll do it when I'm in a chase and I'm trying to get away from the hunters. I certainly won't do it when I'm just driving around and if I think they don't know where I am. It's mostly there so that if they're chasing me and then I can decide on. Peter's killed Mike. Good. It's basically there so that if we're in a chase, I can dodge around a corner and then not have them immediately know whether I've gone to ground or whether I've fled across the city, because if the hunters know roughly where you're going and if they've overshot where you were, then it makes it really, really obvious to them what sort of escape you've done, and so they can come back and search. If you go to ground, they can come back and search the area. Now, in this particular case, I'm not convinced Mark actually saw me. He probably knew which checkpoint had been taken, but I don't think he saw me, which means that it was relatively safe for me to carry on with the circle turned off. At least that was my theory, and it seemed to be the case. I ducked into the train yard for a moment, and that seemed to be enough to at least to get me over my scaredness. And then when I came out, there wasn't anyone waiting for me, so I'm going to say that probably worked. Right, so the next checkpoint, the one I'm going for at the moment, is round this way. It's on the other side of the first part of the massive bridge that goes over to the industrial area, or the oil fields area. So I want to come along here, over the bridge, and then hopefully it'll be just as I come off the bridge. If I'm unlucky, it'll be on one of the fiddly little roads down on Elysian Island, and I'll need to do something a little bit more intricate in order to take it. But I'm cautiously optimistic. From what I saw on my brief glance at the map, I think it's going to be a case of just drive over this bridge, grab the checkpoint on the way through, and just potentially keep going, or maybe drop down onto Elysian Island and escape back across the noisy bridge or the train lines back up into Ghetto, just because it's the slightly less obvious way to go. I'm not really sure which is the best way to go from here. Maybe carrying on. It would depend a lot actually on where the next checkpoint is, and I won't know where that is for 30 seconds after taking it. So, as usual, stop in the checkpoint, take the checkpoint, and go. I have to stop in the checkpoints. That's why I'm doing it. It's one of the rules. So now I have the choice between carrying on across here, or no. Let's go down here. Elysian Island is usually a bad idea, but I think, in this case, I think I've learnt it well enough that I'm probably not going to come a cropper. If I come around this way, and then up here, there's a few ways off. You can take the highway, which I came in on. You can drive along the railway lines, or you can take what we refer to as the noisy bridge, which I've overshot. Oh, Marcus found me. That's not good. And Tristan as well. Okay, let's get out of here. Here we go. This is the... Is this a noisy bridge? No, this is a random loop road. Where does this even go? Oh, no, okay, this goes onto the railway line. All right. This isn't the route I meant to take off the island, but it'll do. Tristan is behind me. Tristan was in a sports car, I think. I'm pretty sure that was an SLK. That's I can't remember who the red car is, but it's one of the hunters anyway. Skedaddleo time. Yep, there's now 3 of them behind me, so we have a chase. This is the sort of time where it'd be quite useful to turn the circle off. But first I'm going to try and put a bit of speed and distance down to get away from that area, because I think there's always a chance that the hunters will have been communicating and will be... Oh dear. Let's go this way. And this is the point where... No, turning my lights off would be a good idea, because that'll make me slightly harder to see. Now my front lights had already gone because I'd been driven in, because I drove into either Johan or yeah, one of the new guys anyway. But my tail lights hadn't been wrecked, and so they were visible. Has Mark overshot? Yes, no, he hasn't. What's the button for... How do I turn the circle off? I've forgotten. Oh yeah, press and hold that one. Then that one. No, not that one. That one and that one. There we go. And Mark has caught up because I was faffing around with the controls, turning the circle off. It's a little bit fiddly, and I haven't played this game enough for... It's been a while since I played the game, so I've kind of forgotten how to do, well, basically everything. But still, it's coming back to... Oh, there's the next checkpoint. That's convenient, but I probably shouldn't take it right now. Was I spotted going in here? Seems okay. I was hoping... So often in a sports car will spawn in red car park, and that's really convenient, but it doesn't seem to happen today, so I'll have to take this one instead. Oh, wait, what's that over there? Is that a better car? Are either of those better cars? That's a felon again. That'll have to do. Everything seems to be unlocked today, which is rather nice. Okay, so let's turn the circle back on again. And close the menu. I'll drive out here. So this is the sort of thing I was talking about earlier, where I have to decide how long after... Basically, I have to consider how long after turning the circle back on is it fair to take a checkpoint, because I'm really, really close to it. I hadn't realised it was there when I was fleeing across the city. I tend to reckon as long as it's been a sort of a minute or two, then it's probably okay. But mostly it's, have the hunters had a chance to get back into the area and recollect their thoughts? And basically, if I left them over in Industrial, but when I turned the circle off, or in Ghetto rather, have they had time to drive up here into Midtown or downtown to come along and sort of rejoin the chase? In which case, I think they have by now, because they weren't all that far away. So therefore, and Mark especially was relatively close behind me, and he's going to have been telling people where I was. So I think it's now probably perfectly fair game for me to go over and take the checkpoint. Exactly how long it's been since I turned the circle back on, I couldn't actually tell you, but it's not the way, because of the way we play the game on a certain amount of sort of honesty rules. And so, to an extent, exactly how much time has passed is a lot less important than whether the hunters have had a chance to get into the area. And because we've just seen 2 of them drive past there, we know they've had time to get into the area, so therefore it's perfectly valid. It's now acceptable for me to go over and grab it. Yeah, I think at some point I probably will buy that other microphone at some point, Ed. At the moment, well, I was going to have a play around with the equalizer settings at some point as well. Obviously haven't done that yet either, but yeah, it's a thing I could do. Right, here we go. Checkpoint number 3. Boop. Explode. And now let's cross over the highway here. I think this is probably a good route to take to get away from the checkpoint. It's a bit of a straight line, which might make it a bit obvious that there's a car fleeing this way. But if Mark's going to go past at that sort of speed, he's probably not going to spot me. Where are the hunters finding all these really exciting sports cars? I'm very jealous. Best I've had so far. Well, I had an SLK in the last run, and I had, and I'm not quite sure what it was in this run. Furore, perhaps? No, it wasn't a Furore. I don't know, but they seem to be finding some extremely nice cars. Yep, so I've now been found, and I'm struggling to get away from one hunter, which is slightly embarrassing. He seems to be in a sports car, I'm in a coupe, so this is going to be a little bit challenging. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, you see he's a... Oh. They're in significantly faster cars than me, and I can't even blow them up because it's perfectly fair for them to be driving sports cars, because I drove one earlier. And they're also shooting at me. I don't get the bulletproof tyres in this car because it isn't a worse than... Oh dear, I took my eyes off the road for a second and Mark appeared out of nowhere and took me out. Right. This is the reason I'm having problems at the moment, and it is entirely my fault because I decided to drive a sports car at the beginning of the game, which means the hunters are now allowed to drive sports cars as well, and that means things are going to get a lot more challenging for me. Oh. I've dodged most of them. I was hoping to do a turnaround there and get away from them while they weren't looking, but unfortunately they were looking, so it didn't go quite as well as I hoped. Right, so I've got Mark on my tail at the moment, and probably the rest of them not too far behind. So I need to try and get out of here and do something cunning and clever. Actually, Mark is in the same car as me about the looks of it. I think that's another felon. So we should be fairly evenly matched. It's when the others turn up that things are going to get a little bit dicier. So let's try and put a bit of distance down while I still have the freedom to do so. Cut up this way. That wasn't a narrow enough road for that to cause him to come a cropper, which is a shame. But never mind. Can't always have everything you want. Oh dear, is this the one that's a dead end? Yes, it is. Oh no. One of these houses has a way out from the back of it. I don't think it's this. I don't know if it's this one. Oh, I'm in trouble. Get out, run away, run away. No, run away, I said. The other sort of running away. The one way you actually run. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I shouldn't have gone into that road. That one has caught me once or twice before because there isn't a way out from it. It's one. There aren't very many dead end roads in this city because it's designed for computer gaming stuff. But that's one of them.
It's quite a bad shooting from us.
Damn dead end road again.
That was kind of embarrassing on the shooting front. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was some pretty poor shooting. I survived for a lot longer than I would have expected to for that. But yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get out of the car because it was on its roof and underwater.
I was struggling to get out of mine as well.
So yeah, nice combination.
I was disappointed that you didn't go back to 5 ways.
Were you setting up an ambush?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You drove past within sight of me twice, but you drove past so quickly I didn't get a chance to get a shot off.
Good. Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Who shall I be? What shall I dress as this time?
I think you should dress as a jester.
Ed the Duck.
I don't think Ed the Duck is available. There probably is a jester.
Did we want to try the police car run?
Oh yeah. Yeah, all right.
What's that then?
Eh?
What's this now?
Everybody in police cars except me.
And you have to turn your sirens on if you're in a chase or you're checking a car. Yeah.
What button is that?
Okay.
Horn.
It'll just be
that could be
sirens on,
hilarious.
sirens off, sirens on, sirens off, sirens on, sirens off.
That could
Yeah.
be genuinely
Don't they
hilarious.
they did that themselves, don't they?
So,
Is that an indicator joke?
do the hunters need to go and find said police cars?
I guess
gives
we
us
can
a delay.
spawn them.
No.
Just go and
Go-
find
No.
them. There's
Yeah.
a police station by Square of Squares. There's the one by Casino Bridge. I think
There's one
There's
in
one
the
in Ghetto.
center.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few roundabout.
So you shouldn't have too
Yeah.
much trouble finding. I've occasionally considered shooting back, Ed, but firstly I'm not a very good shot, and secondly I don't get very many guns. I get a taser, and that's about it. And I'm not very good with it. So
You can shoot the taser from your vehicle.
I know, but the previous points stand. That
Yeah.
usually by the time it gets to the point where using the taser would be a good idea, it's also too late.
Isn't Ed a supporter? Why aren't you here?
Yeah, Ed, why aren't you playing?
I can't help but feel that if we get every single
Forfeited
person
it,
who
but
is
not
likely to watch the stream playing the game, then you might have no viewers.
Well,
Whoever said that was a problem.
Ah!
So we have we started a run or?
Yes, we started.
yeah, we have to all go find police cars.
I won't get. Oh, I have been booted out already. Okay. I won't get two started until they've switched cars. So here we go. Here's an SLK. Let's grab this one because police cars are quite good. So I want to have a sports car to go up against their police cars. So let's take another SLK. And not just because I have a slight fondness for them. We'll try not to put a massive dent in the back of it this time. Okay, sorry to hear you're not feeling great, but yeah, hopefully it'll pass fairly quickly. Right, so let's start moving. I'm going to give them some time to get to the police stations and pick up police cars because when we're putting in a specific game thing like this, it's nice to give them a chance. I seem to be leaving the city though, which is unfortunate. Let's just turn around. Oop. There we go. So Marlow Drive in Vinewood Hills. Okay, that's going to be a bit of a trek, but yeah, no, that's okay. So hello everyone, welcome to Laurence Plays, where we are playing Manhunt Checkpoint once again. And this means I am the prey. I am driving around the city where there are going to be 5 checkpoints that I'm going to be offered one at a time. The first one is on Marlow Drive in Vinewood Hills, so I'll need to make my way up there to get the first checkpoint. Now we're doing something a little bit different today because the hunters are all going to be in police cars. Yes, there are some hunters. They're going to wander around the city trying to find me, and if they find me, they will try and shoot me and kill me. If they manage to do that, then they win. If I manage to take all the checkpoints, then I win. And so we think having the police cars should be entertaining because there'll be a lot of sirens going on. Because the hunters have been told that basically they're supposed to have their sirens on if they're suspicious of something or someone. So if they see a car that they think is me, then they should put the sirens on to try and get it to pull over and stop and investigate what's going on. I hear sirens already. That's kind of alarming, to be honest. Also, it's going to give me a bit of an idea where the hunters are because I'll be able to hear sirens, and especially when we get into a chase, if I stop hearing sirens, then it might mean that I've got away. So we'll see how that goes. I'm trying to triangulate that by noise. I think it's... No, I don't know where that is. I can't really tell. I think it might be over that way. However, this does show that I've given them plenty of time to get their police cars, and so it's now fair for me to go and start trying to take checkpoints, he says, sitting at a red traffic light. See no police cars. But there we go, there's a green light. I was about to go, I'm getting impatient, I'm going to just skip it, but I'm going to run the red light. But no, it changed in time, so that's okay. Right, try not to go too fast, Laurence. One of the problems I have, especially when I'm driving the better cars in this game, is that it's too easy to do sort of about 50% faster than the speed limit. And that... Oop, there's one of the police cars, that's a red one. So that, I think, is Sapphire? I'm a little unsure. I don't know. I know we've got a couple of new people, one in red, one in pink, and I'm not 100% sure which is which. Yes, so... Well, I say newish. They were around last time as well. There's a bus coming, that's not a hunter. Okay, there are no traffic lights here. I have no idea how you're supposed to do that junction, but badly is apparently the answer. So let's follow the roads up here. I'm going to get up into the more northern parts of the city before I start trying to go over to the west, I think. I have this theory that I've talked about quite a bit before on the channel, that I reckon that if I get onto if I'm on the smaller roads, then I'm probably less likely to be spotted by hunters, because there's more of a tendency to take the bigger roads because the city naturally draws you to them, because that's how road systems work, even in computer games. So maybe if I follow the smaller roads like this one, rather than the bigger boulevards, maybe I'll be slightly less likely to be caught. I don't really know for sure. I can't see the lines on the arrows. That was poor driving on my part. I was too busy looking at the arrows on the road and I drove straight into Mike. That was not well done. Oh, and my brakes don't work because it's raining. Trees still work though, because trees like the rain. Yes, that's how this works. I actually just I deliberately dodged a pedestrian. That's awfully unusually nice of me. Oh, these are drive-through bollards. I don't know if that's better or worse. That's not a drive-through police car, but it was worth giving it a boop anyway. Right, so I've still only got Mike on my tail, which is nice, because that's only one hunter. But I'm going to need to get away from him, nonetheless. So let's head up into the hills. This is usually a bad idea, because this way the roads get smaller and more fiddly, and a bit more dangerous, and so I'm more likely to have an accident. However, so is anyone following me, and it's harder to see me, because, as previously mentioned, the roads are narrow and twisty. So there we go. I seem to have got away from Mike there, and I didn't even have to turn the circle off to do it. So this is going okay so far. I can no longer hear the sirens. That's a good sign as well. Let's see if I can find another worthwhile car, because this one has been now been burned. It's damaged, and Mike will have told everyone. Actually, Mike will probably have told everyone I'm driving something that looks a bit like an Oracle, because Mike thinks everything is an Oracle. Yes. Let's take that red one there. Looks like a suitable car. I was going to say it looks kind of like an RX-8 from the front. It doesn't very much, to be honest, but it sort of made me think of one, and I'm not sure why. What was that car doing? It apparently drove into a bin at the very least. Okay, so this next checkpoint is way up into the hills. Ooh, don't drive into the... Oh, God, I don't know. That was probably a lack of talent, but the car just didn't want to turn. Anyway, yes, I'm going to have to go way, way up into the hills in order to get this checkpoint. Much, much further than I was expecting to or really wanted to. Somebody is shooting behind me. It's way behind me, though, so I'm kind of okay with that. Okay, so if I turn right here, carry on still further up into the hills, try and get my driving under control before I do anything too dodgy. And yeah, I think, from what I can see on the map, yes, I think if I turn left here, that's going to take me to the checkpoint. Yeah, it's on this road, I'm pretty sure. This is an awkward, there it is. Not sure what's going on here, but it doesn't seem to have involved me yet, so... Okay, now it's involved me. What's that done to Pete? Oh, it's got him sort of in the way of Mark, so that's good. There's the checkpoint, but I'm moving far too fast to take it at this point in the game. Let's carry on around here. I should be faster than them. I think sports cars are generally, at least these good sports cars, I think are faster than police cars. So it'll be up to them to use cunning and guile in order to catch me. And judging by that, they seem to have run out of one or the other. Let's go up here into the off-road areas. I was watching for them to fly by. Oh, there's one there. Just avoided the deer. Well done there. Oh, and there's a pink one. Probably saw me. Oh no, went straight off that way. Let's have a vehicle change here into this, whatever it is. Looks Aston Martin. Oh no, there's Mike again. Ah, damn it, Mike! Why were you so late? Why did I go this way when this is where all the hunters are and no checkpoints? Because I can do that. Oh, and roll it onto the roof. That's unfortunate. Hello, Mike. Oh, this is going to get silly, I can tell. Can I land this? Of course not. Oh, actually, that's not too bad as landings go. Right, so we're going to... Unfortunately, this is now going away from the checkpoint, which isn't quite what I wanted to do as part of my escape. Tristan's blown himself up. Well done there. The most annoying part of this is that getting to that checkpoint is a faff. I know there's a road here somewhere. Getting to that checkpoint is a massive faff, and now I've got to do it all again. Got to get all the way back up there again when they're probably already suspicious that that's where I'm trying to get to. So this could be problematic. But let's try and find a new sports car first. I know I've driven past a few, but I want to try and make sure I'm reasonably hidden before I do. Can I pull up behind this car and not be noticed? Yes, I can. I can't believe that worked. Oh, it's amazing. Is pink going to go past as well? Yes. And green? Yes. I can't... It must be because of the dark, but I don't think... I think they just didn't notice how damaged this car is. That's amazing. I can't believe I got away with that. Let's go up here, because it's off the beaten track. Oh, and I didn't even have my lights on either, probably because I don't have any anymore. I need to find... I think this turns into... Yes, here we go. This turns into a proper road here. I was hoping that... I need there to be a sports car, or at least something reasonably good in one of these garages. One of these driveways. Yeah, I might well get smashed from behind. It is entirely possible. The state of this car. Should we go up here? Let's go up here. It's a weird and odd... It's a weird place to go that they probably won't expect. And it's a posh house, so it should have a posh car. I hope. Or alternatively, it'll just be a building site. Grand Theft Auto is difficult when there aren't any autos to Grand Theft. I can come back out onto the main road here, but that's a bit too obvious. And I can still hear the sirens going. There just aren't any cars. I mean, and by cars I mean worthwhile cars. That one doesn't ahead of me, just doesn't count. What's this? No, that's a jet ski. You can't steal a jet ski, Laurence. What are you doing? Okay, I'm going to have to abandon the Aston Martin here because it's in such bad condition. That I can't try and use it. So this is not a good place to be trying to steal a car. It's far too busy a road. But also, I think I might just have to take the first one that comes. Which one of these is less bad? Neither. This one in front. Okay, I'll take this one. Out of sheer desperation, basically. If I get caught, there's something coming now. Oh no, it's going to be a hunter. Yeah, it's a pink hunter. But he's driven past. Okay, that's alright then. He's going back up to the sort of the previous scene of the crime. I'm going to drive slowly in an attempt to just let them all shoot past me as they go up here. I could run on foot towards the checkpoint, but it's such a long way that I would basically never get there. However, going cross country on the other hand, that might work. They won't really be expecting that. So if I go up here and hope they don't see me as I crest the hill, basically. There we go. Now, I'm probably mostly invisible, I hope. Yeah, being on foot, you are very, very vulnerable on foot. And you're probably not... I probably wouldn't be recognised, but if one of them just happens to decide they're in a mean mood and wants to run a pedestrian over, then I'm basically doomed because I'm completely undefended. That said, I'm trying to get an idea of the lie of the land here. Whether I can just sort of sneak down here and drop the car off somewhere and then grab... No, there isn't really... Unless I go over... Yeah, okay. Let's drop down there, grab the checkpoint, and then go off the other side of the road into that gorge. If I can manage to land the car the right way up, like that. Preferably without honking the horn too much. There we go. Now if I drop off here... I'm hoping they won't be expecting me to do this, and they'll be all over that road looking for me. If so, oh, if this works, I should be so happy. I shouldn't have gone over the top there. I should have stayed in the valley. This Serrano is actually doing pretty well at off-roading. I mean, I know it's an SUV and therefore, you know, should be good at that sort of thing. but you know, I know what SUVs can be like sometimes. Pillbox Hill. Okay, I know where that is. Oh, they're shooting. There's shooting happening. That probably means they've spotted me and they're sniping at me. That's bad. Oh. That way up, please. Oh, I should have taken that. The other type of Serrano. The one that's a sports car. The one that was underneath me then. That was a mistake. However, I still kind of want to... Can I go through this? No. Damn it. Back on your wheels. There we go. Right, let's get back into the city proper and start having a normal drive rather than this sort of hilly nonsense shenanigan that's going on at the moment. I don't know why I put my headlights back on again. It's not going to help. Especially as I can hear oh no, there's one of them behind me. Crap. I should have just done anything else. I should have something different. Done something different. I don't know what, but I shouldn't have done this. Yep, he's behind me. Okay, I do quite like the police cars as pursuit vehicles actually, because they're reasonably good cars, which makes for good chases. Whoa! I didn't mean to do that, as you can probably guess. Let's make the most of it though. Oh no, he's following. Ah, it's a dead end. No. Let's come out here. There we go. And also the SUVs are a bit harder to push around. The police cars aren't very heavy. But yeah, having the lights on top of the police cars is quite nice because it means it makes them a bit easier for me to spot. I appreciate that. Now, I have to somehow get away from Mike. He's got a faster car than me. Mine's a bit better at pushing. I don't know whether I can really take advantage of that though, because if I start getting into a sort of a fight with him and cars pushing each other around, then his friends are going to turn up and somebody's going to shoot me in the face, and I don't really want that to happen. So, let's zip through here like that, and try. Oh, come on, get some grip, get some grip. There we go. There's a little bit of grip. Nope, he's still there, and I can hear another siren now. There's a cacophony going on behind me somewhere. So his friend, as I said, his friends have turned up. Oh, and so is food. Nice. Oh, I don't know how. I don't know what happened there, but I didn't hit that jump properly. That's all I can really say. Okay, there's one of them up there. There's another one coming through there. Ooh, yep, he couldn't see me because I'm in a dark-coloured vehicle and it is night time, which is about the only thing I have going for me at the moment. Unfortunately, it's not that hard to see a car at night if you have a fairly good idea it's there. So I'm probably not going to be able to. That's probably not going to get me away from Mike. However, bonk. It's a slight help. So you know, I'll take what I can get. Yeah, as I said, I was going to say I think he's faster than me. I'm actually not sure that he is. Let's disappear into the ghetto where hopefully, well, hopefully I can disappear into the ghetto basically, where the police aren't welcome. But yes, that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm relying on. There's more alleyways and things down here, so perhaps there's a chance that something will go wrong for somebody and it won't be me. Probably will be me. Usually is. No, Mike took that corner better than I did. I suspect the police cars might be more manoeuvrable than the Serrano. I don't know. We'll just have to see how this goes, but this may end up being quite a long chase. I may have to take some sort of drastic actions, like dumping the car in the water in order to get rid of them. Now, that is a possibility, and this car does seem to be doing well enough at staying away from them that this is a thing I could do. I don't really want to do that as a sort of as my answer to everything, though. Whoop. But when it's this difficult to get away, I may end up having to resort to that, especially as there's now 3 of them behind me. Oh, there's Tristan taking pot shots at me. I assume it's Tristan because it usually is when somebody's taking pot shots. He likes setting up ambushes for me. It's one of his hobbies, as far as I can tell. And he seems to be, he's actually reasonably good at guessing where I'm going to go. Although he did complain after the last run that he'd very carefully set up an ambush for me, and then I hadn't gone to where he was. So he was very unimpressed by that. Okay, Mike is still with me. The going onto the tracks didn't distract him. I don't want to go. I am apparently going into. I didn't want to go into the tunnel. This is a bad idea. This is a bad move. I don't want to go in here. I didn't want to do this. I meant to come back off onto the road again, but there wasn't a suitable gap in the in the bollards that I thought I could take at the speed I was going. Now I could try and come out. I could get out here at the station, but I suspect that would go badly for me. Slide. I wonder if there'll be an oncoming train. That could be entertaining for everybody. Somewhere there'll be another way out of the tunnels, but I've no idea where. I don't know how far I'm going to be driving before I end up coming back out again. I didn't, as I was saying, I didn't really want to do this because it's a bit silly and it's not the best sort of escape. Because there's really only one place I can go now, and there's several of them behind me now. What I should ideally do is a quick turnaround at one of these points, like that, and try and get up the tunnel going the opposite direction. That has not worked though. Mike saw me doing it. I didn't have enough of a lead. I didn't have enough control authority on the car. Somebody's on a police bike. That feels like cheating. I'm not sure I approve of that because motorbikes in this game are somewhat OP. Yeah, I think I approve of that, but never mind. We'll I'll tell them off later. It's not too much of a problem. I should have run him over, of course. Is the obvious thing I should have done there. Now the big problem I'm going to have here is the chances are there'll be a welcoming committee at the point where this comes back out again, because they actually know where that is because, well, I went in there. So there's a reasonable chance that the hunters will be able to guide at least some of their compatriots back to the tunnel mouth, and they'll probably have blocked it up with a truck or something. If they've done that, then I might be in trouble. So I'm going to go back down the tunnel again. This is a little bit repetitive, and I apologise for that. We appear to have swapped Mike for, I think that's Pete. Now, what I want to do is have enough of a lead on them to get out at one of the stations. Because then I can do... That's a little bit unexpected and hopefully will throw them off. But so far, I'm not able to get a lead because their cars are at least as fast as mine. Oh! And occasionally things like that happen. Oh, what? Where did that bike... No. Yeah, that didn't go so well. That's a shame. The first part of that run was really, really good. One of these days I'll make a video where I piece together lots and lots of different good bits from runs. That was frustrating. I should have switched out to the SUV much sooner. Before I got spotted.
You should have switched out the tunnel much sooner.
What is that?
Yeah. Well, the tunnel is difficult to get out of. I didn't know how far I'd have to stay in it before I'd actually find the exit. And then when I turned around and started heading back, I thought, no, this way I'll just end up with a with some sort of massive blockade at the end of the road, and when I try and come out of the tunnel.
Because we know which one that is, then.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. You did go past 2 exits. Just saying.
Do you mean the stations?
I mean the stations as well, although those are more complicated. I accept. Those require a more tactical approach to blockading the thing and then trying to get as much of a runner as possible before we can climb over the cars.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate is difficult. Yeah. But probably also your only real chance at that point, if we're honest.
Oh.
Hello.
Ah.
Hi.
Nothing to do with me.
No. I just wanted to request you to start the game so I don't have to run up the stairs again.
That's so lazy.
Also, a police bike is not a police car.
Yeah, you're killing me help as well.
You are supposed to be in police cars, not police bikes. Not that it really mattered, I don't think, except it probably enabled you to get off it a bit more quickly than otherwise. But...
Hey, what does red say?
Potentially.
Peter's left.
Oh no.
God, the game crashed.
I'll go get another beer because
I brought the bottle up, see, I planned ahead.
Oh, another beer.
Yeah,
That's a good shout. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to grab a drink as well. Be right back.
Back in a sec.
Yeah.
Everyone find Mike's character and surround him in obsidian. Oh wait, wrong game.
I could kill him and then it would look like someone had found him and killed him.
You should definitely do that.
This rifle's good.
Trifle? I like trifle.
Trifle? I might go and get a drink. Nah. Next time. Next run. Peter is joining.
Coming back in.
No secrets, are there?
I've switched it to the basically all vehicles mode.
Which, what? All vehicles.
Yeah, so even the ones that don't normally spawn.
Oh, right, I'm with you, yeah.
Hmm. That's why I have a lot of limousines in downtown.
Oh yeah, there's a limousine. Literally, as you said, that limousine drove under me. And there's another one. Yeah, for some reason your spawn set has a lot of limousines.
Yeah, the Ritz, huh?
And even different kind of it. So the normal Lincoln ones and the Humvee ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are both limousines that will be in the spawn set.
Yeah. For some reason there is a lot of limousines in the spawn set.
It's the
I
whole,
have returned.
if there's one vehicle of a type, there will be a bunch of them.
Those
And I
upper,
somehow-
upper hill checkpoints are a pain to take because they just take forever to get to and find and work out exactly what the best route to get to them is.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
actually,
we realised that, but we couldn't get to where they were quick enough.
couldn't
Yeah.
figure out what you did. You took that because in the time it took me to turn around after you'd belted it past me at breakneck speed, you disappeared, and then I saw it take like 20 meters in front of me, and then there was just no Laurence.
Oh yeah,
Let's
that,
do it.
I was quite proud of that one actually, and I think I might have to do a Manhunt highlights video or something because there's been a few runs recently where the run itself hasn't been particularly satisfying, like that one because it didn't because it was just a sort of a long boring chase at the end of it. But there's been some quite interesting bits in it, like so that one after I ran away in the Aston Martin from the checkpoint with all you guys following me, I managed to do a sort of a tumble into an area behind the university, and I sort of hid as if I was in a queue behind another car, and all of you drove past me back down into the city. So I then snuck back up that way a bit, spent a while searching for another car that wasn't terrible, eventually ended up in a Serrano, one of the 4x4s, so I went off road to get to the checkpoint, took it and immediately drove off the edge of the cliff in the other direction down into the gully to get away.
Told you jumped off the cliff.
Yeah, one of you was shooting at me while I was on the way down there, or one of you was shooting at least, and I thought it was at me.
I'm on the bridge with the
sniper.
Getting
Oh, no.
mobbed by gangsters.
That was I was shooting at a car that
Oh
was
right.
on the road.
Okay. And that if only I'd known that, then I'd have I'd have been a little bit more careful about my car change and would have got into something that was a little better and less battered.
Yeah, that was a
Laurence,
driver
what
that
did
didn't-
you think about the police cars?
I thought that was really good actually, because the having the flashing lights and things made, and then the sirens added an extra je ne sais quoi, sort of the
Urgency.
yeah. It made
Paranoia, I
you,
guess.
yes,
Just
it
wanna
made you more
say-
obvious as well, which is quite nice.
I'm standing on the bridge
Actually-
over the freeway, and the number of limousines that are going underneath me is absurd.
Yeah, there's a lot of limousines.
Laurence, you can watch the video afterwards. Like every third car, and it's almost like every third car isn't a limousine.
Having
They're all
the police
others.
cars with sirens in when we're chasing you also made it a little easier for us, at least for me as a new guy. Where
Oh yeah, to find out where
am
the
I
chase is
actually
going.
in the right area? Can I hear other guys?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that sounds
What was
really
quite
good then.
nice that I could hear basically when you were in the tunnels, I was chasing you on the top level, and I could hear the sirens as well. So
Awesome. Yeah, let's do police cars again because I think that worked quite well, and I think it was interesting enough that I think it's worth doing again. I was trying very much to stick to sports cars where I could because I think that's about similar to police cars, just to keep it reasonably balanced. So, but yeah.
okay, so, and just to be sure, with police cars you mean vehicles with 4 wheels, sirens, and police or sheriff on the side, or
What
FBI?
about tracks? If it's an FBI tracked vehicle, is that okay?
Skids. If it's got 4 blades and some skids.
If it has 4 wheels and also a propeller, is that fine?
If we take a green big thing and paint a P on the side and it shoots shells, is that fine?
It's got a dead police officer on the passenger seat. Is that all right?
I was going to say, I
Does he
think
have-
you all know what a police car is, but Tristan demonstrated that he doesn't. So.
I cleared him for
To be
that.
fair,
That's-
the
I said
police
that's
bike
fine.
is slower, and so therefore there's a balance there.
Yeah, I think it's probably okay. Ed,
Also,
I went to a
it's-
police
Ed
station
says
and
the
took a
police bike
vehicle.
is,
Yeah.
he says it's so much slower than every other bike in the game. So yeah, I think it's probably it probably is all right.
Yeah, it was a natural
It's-
spawn at the station, so it wasn't anything fancy or
Yeah.
something, you know.
It's sufficiently okay that I don't think I will be taking it next run.
Right. Yeah, I think it's all right.
Actually,
I'm trying to find this other police station, but I can't seem to find it.
I think
Well,
there's
you're
about
about to
2
teleport,
more
so
than
you
the
can
ones
look
that we
for it.
know about.
There's one just over in Industrial as well. I spawned very, very close to it in the last game and thought I'd better get away from here fairly quickly.
There's one right in the middle of downtown that I always drive past.
Yeah, it's the big sort of central one.
Hi,
Where's the
Laurence.
industrial one?
Guess you won't get to find out from me. Okay, let's get over into the main part of the city and try and... Oh, I'm going to drive past another police station if I go this way. Never mind, let's do it at speed. Alla's died, I'm not quite sure why. Okay, so my plan is, as before, is to get... Oh, there's one of those limos he's talking about. My plan is, as before, to get over into the... is to get myself a sports car and then start looking for checkpoints. So, where can you get... Yeah, get over the highway here, I think. Sports cars tend to be a bit more common in the... in the Vinewood area because it's a bit posher. So if I get up that way, hopefully I'll be able to find something worth driving, and then I can switch over. Not that, that's a hearse. Let's go this way. At this rate, we're never going to get started. Somebody's shooting. I don't really know why. Maybe they saw a pink Voltic flying past and thought, yeah, let's take pot shots at it. Even though, you know, really, if you see the pink Voltic, you're supposed to go, oh, the game hasn't actually started yet. That's sort of how it's supposed to be. That's a loud gun. That must be the musket, I think. The hunters are restricted to various single-shot weapons. So they've got the pistol, they've got the heavy sniper, marksman's pistol as well, which is terrible, and I think Hummer limo. Okay, yeah, that'll have to do. That'll do for now. And so the heavy sniper. Oh, maybe I'll actually do. What is that?
Oh, please! Damn it!
Oh, an 8F drafter. Okay, so we've got some funny shenanigans going on with the spawn sets at the moment because I don't think this is a normal natural spawn. But you know what? It's a sports car. I'll take it. It's an 8F, so presumably that's meant to be an Audi R8, I guess. Because or S8 more like. Sorry, not an R8 because the 9F is the R8. Maybe it's a S8, 8S, S8, S8. Is that such a thing as an Audi S8? I don't know my Audis very well. I know there's the A4 is sort of the mid-size saloon type car, and then there's the S4, which is the hot version of it. I don't know. It's not one of the real world cars anyway. So so this is not one of the real world cars. Well, we shall see. Oh, okay. We've got all the weird spawns as well. I missed him saying that. Maybe it was while I was away. Maybe that's why Al was seeing quite so many limos, and then why I'm seeing all of those Hummer limos knocking around. Right. So yes, welcome to Laurence Plays. This is Manhunt Checkpoint. I am driving around the city trying to find checkpoints, and there is one at Castaway and Abe Milton Parkway in Burton. I don't really know where that is, but I've got a blip on the map, so that'll help me find it. If I manage to take all 5 checkpoints, then I win the game. There are some hunters drifting around the city as well, though. If they manage to find me and shoot me, then they win the game. Or if they kill me in any way, shape, or form. So if they manage to run me over or knock me off a cliff or, you know, just about anything, then they will win the game. They are all going to be driving around in very brightly coloured police cars because we're doing a police car run for the hunters this time because that seemed like an interesting idea. And so it should make them really, really obvious, and they will all put their sirens on when they get suspicious. So in theory, I'll know when they've spotted me. What is that in ahead of me? That's a tornado, isn't it? And it's really, probably going to get in the way. But never mind. At least it'll stop me driving too quickly. I honestly have no idea where Burton is in Los Santos, so we shall be just driving towards the blip until I manage to find it. I suppose since we're stopped at a red light, I could pull up the map and go, oh, it's okay. Oh, it's over there. Okay, that's not so bad. It's not too far. Right, so I'll head down this way, get onto the main road down. Actually, no, I'll cross over the main road by the low car parks there, and then go on the next road over. Because as I've said many times before, I have a theory that if you're on smaller roads, you're less likely to be spotted by the hunters. Now they know I've got this theory because I've said it in videos before, and so they'll have seen that and they'll know all about it. However, I still think it's probably going to be true, just down to sort of basic psychology. There's one of the police cars. You can tell because it's a weird colour. It's got a hunter in it. That was one of the fairly dark ones, so that might have been Pete. I couldn't really tell, but I think Pete is the only one with a really, really dark car colour in this game. Because the hunters will, not only are they driving police cars, they are driving police cars in their hunter colours, which makes them a bit more obvious. At least that's the intent and that's the hope. Interesting, I can hear sirens. Now, they're supposed to put the sirens on when they get suspicious, but I suppose we said you should put your siren on when you're suspicious. We didn't say you can't put it on if you're not suspicious. So, I'm going to run this red light. And then it immediately turns green, of course. So yeah, maybe they're just playing around with, or maybe they spotted an AI car that they were suspicious of for reasons, and that does happen. You might not realise it from having only seen my point of view of the videos, but the hunters do actually check out quite a lot of cars that aren't me before they manage to find the one that is me. So it may look like they all just converge on me and then they go, aha, here he is, and check me and ram me off the road. But actually, they do look at quite a lot of other cars as well. So. You just generally don't see that very often unless they do it right in front of me. I didn't really want to turn right here, but I guess I'm going to. Because of the lane I was in, basically. But that's alright, we can then come along here and turn left. And again, I'm following a slightly odd route around the city. And I think, as I said, I think that's better for my survival chances. Because it makes me a bit less obvious, a bit harder for them to find. Go slightly faster than that, please. Okay, so some red lights here. We'll have to stop at these. Now, how close am I to the... Okay, so if I go this way, actually, let's go straight on. I don't want to go through 5 ways if I can avoid it, because it's such a big junction. So yeah, we'll carry on, go straight on, then turn right down that road dead ahead over there, and follow that one up, and then turn right at the end to go down and grab the checkpoint. I think that's probably... Or maybe take the right before that. I don't know. There goes Mike. Bimble, bimble, bimble. And there's another Humvee limo and another one. I just need a white one now to complete the flag. Oh dear, so many ludicrous vehicles driving around. Now maybe a Humvee limo would be quite a good one to take because it's probably going to be fairly hard to push around, but it's probably going to also drive like an absolute pig. So I don't think I will be using one of those unless I have absolutely no other choice. The game does get a bit silly when you start to allow, well, silly cars to start spawning. But, you know, I'm kind of okay with that. Silly is... I think the whole game mode is fairly silly, so we might as well lean into it a bit. Here's the police station. This would be where you'd expect to find lots and lots of the hunters, given what they're driving. But I think they're all out on patrol, so that's okay. But let's run that orange light. I don't know how good AIs are at stopping for orange lights. Because I know in theory, if you see an orange light, you're supposed to stop if you can. As I think somebody put it, I can't remember who it was, but somebody basically phrased it as if you see an orange light, you need to press one of the pedals. You either need to press the brake to stop it before it goes red, or when it goes red, or you need to press the accelerator in order to get through it before it goes red. So in that case, I chose the accelerator. I can hear a siren over there somewhere. It's a little bit worrying. I mean, the fact there's a siren going and I'm not being harassed basically means they're interested in someone else. Look, there's Mike dead ahead of me and Tristan there as well. I think I might be going to just drive straight through this checkpoint and not take it because there's so many of them around at the moment that I'm scared, basically. How many people are in that police car? Is this just let's put all the hunters in one police car and see what happens? I'm getting out of here. Suddenly, when there's 3 of them trying to box me in like that, I do not want to be in the area. So maybe I should have just taken the checkpoint anyway, because clearly we're now going to be having a chase whether I want to or not. And this is sort of what I was trying to avoid. I thought, let's try and just take the checkpoint in a reasonably quiet and innocuous way. Oh, there's one of them. Hi, also bite. Yeah, I was trying to sneak up on the checkpoint, and then there's so many of them there, I thought, let's not take the checkpoint, because maybe that way I'll be able to get away without them seeing me. It was not to be. I don't know what vehicle to change to, though, because there doesn't seem to be much else around that's any good. It's all these crappy Jeeps or Humvee limos. Can we have a slightly different spawn set, please? That'd be nice. Let's head back, loop back round through here and take the checkpoint, because I'm not being chased, and as long as I stop before I take the checkpoint, then it's legit. Especially as I'm not being chased. I mean, in theory, I'm allowed to take a checkpoint even when I'm being chased. I just try not to because it seems cheap, basically. I don't like to do, and I don't like to do that. Right, I still need a change of car though. Now let's see if there's a good sports car spawned in Red Car Park, because that is often the case. They're still sirening. No, nothing in there, or nothing where the sports car usually spawns, rather. Was that a purple police car coming through the? What is that? I thought I saw a purple police car. Oh, there's a green one there. That's just as bad. Yeah, this spawn set is limited and challenging. I'm not quite sure what to do about it, apart from just, Grove Street. Okay, I know where that is at least, but with this car is a bit recognisable and a bit burned. I've smashed it up a bit. It's been very much been seen. I want to change car, but I want to change a car into something that isn't terrible. And finding something that isn't terrible is going to be a bit of a challenge. Partly because there's nothing on the roads. Oh, goodness sake. I need a car. Where are all... Oh, no, it's a limo again. The limos look reasonably nice, but they're still limos, and they're just going to be... I mean, they might be reasonably quick, I don't actually know, but they're going to handle, like... I don't know, something absolutely terrible. No, nothing in here. I could try driving up the car park, I suppose. Haven't done that yet. This is probably going to be a mistake. Yeah, there's nothing but Jeeps and limos. What's going on? Oh, beach is a good idea, actually. Yeah, and it's a fairly obvious place for me to be going. If they see me heading down that way. Yeah, if there's nothing in this car park, then I'll head over to beach. That's a good shout. Thank you, Peter. Yeah, I don't know what gave me away. I suspect it might have been that it was the only good car they'd seen for quite a while, so they thought he's not going to be in a bad car, therefore that must be him. Now, do I go off the jump? Probably not, because I'll get my car stuck, but let's do it anyway, because it'll be fun. I go over this way. Oh, that was not such a good landing. Those knockdownable bollards? Yeah, they are. Right, let's take this Range Rover. It's going to be terrible because it's a Range Rover, but I need a car. I need a different car that isn't quite so burned. Now I could go down to beach looking for better cars. That's not a bad idea, and I am fairly close. Alternatively, I could go for the checkpoint because that's also fairly close. Let's go and look for a better car first. They don't know where I'm going, so if I head down towards beach, that might throw them off. Because so far they probably don't have any idea where the checkpoint is, because I've driven around like an absolute lunatic. I haven't been trying to approach a checkpoint, and they're probably going to be kind of aware of that. There's another hearse. There's lots more miscellaneous 4x4s over there. There's a Humvee, the white one, I think, and another Jeep. And another Hummer limo. It's a bit ridiculous. Still, the sirens have stopped, so that's nice. Either the hunters are no longer suspicious, or they don't think they're chasing anything, or they've run out of ghosts to chase, or I don't know. But whatever reason, the hunters don't consider themselves to be in hot pursuit at the moment. Or if they do consider themselves to be in hot pursuit, they're pursuing something that's out of earshot of me, and that's just as good. Someone's just left their siren on for the lulz, haven't they? They don't think they've spotted me or anything. They turned it on and they can't remember what button turns it off again. It's an interesting idea. Grabbing. I've already started making my way towards. Ooh. That'll do. It's peach green. I don't see that as a particular problem, but it looks. Take the car. Take the. Grrr. And rage and other noises. Right, I'm just going to follow that because it looks good. It's about the only good car I've seen for I don't know how long. I'm going to follow it and try and catch it and take it. Partly because I'm annoyed that it got away, and partly because it looks like a reasonably good car. This is probably going to be hubris and end in unfortunatenesses. Yep, I've just given like that. I've just given myself away completely there to Tristan. Because that was some terrible, terrible driving. Because I was too fixated on the car that I wanted to steal. I knew that was a bad idea when I started doing it, and I don't know why I did it. Why I didn't just go, okay, we'll carry on with Plan A, where I head down towards the beach and look for another sports car. They're all just sports cars. It doesn't matter. Oh, he didn't crash into any of those. I crashed into Mike, but it kind of doesn't matter because I'm driving a Range Rover and he's driving a tiny little police car. So, yes. I think Inspector Morse has come to join the party, judging by that car I just saw. Okay, we might be going to be doing a ditches in the sea thing here, because I'm not sure how else I'm going to get away from a load of police cars in a Range Rover. Depends. Oh, actually, maybe Tristan screwed up that landing. I think he might have done. Oh no, this isn't the one I thought it was. There are two exits from the lowway that look very, very similar. One of them allows you to go straight through and down off road briefly. One of them doesn't. That was the one that doesn't. Is he following me? I don't think he's followed me around there. Excellent. Actually, I shouldn't come off here. Ooh, if I come off here and duck into this alleyway. Now, I don't know. I mean, I could take this Waitrose truck. They won't expect that. I mean, I will be completely doomed if and when we get into a chase, but there's one of them. I think that's Pete, and that's Mark. But there is always a Waitrose truck parked here, so, you know, it's got that subtlety going for it. Have they all gone? I think they have. Let's go for the checkpoint in this, because taking a checkpoint in a Waitrose truck would be funny. Now, a Waitrose truck is going to stand out slightly in the ghetto, admittedly. It's not quite where you'd expect to find one of these. Look, there goes, I think that's Mike and Al going through over that way. Good. This is going well so far, but I definitely need to change this vehicle out very, very soon, because it's it's terrible. But I'm going to try and take the checkpoint in it. There are people panicking, but I don't think a car would panic at this sort of distance. Cars are a lot harder to panic than pedestrians, I've noticed. Yeah, now that's true. Now I could do the take the checkpoint and dump it in the sea. Yeah, that might work. There's a pink one going across there, and no, it's just a generic Jeep. It's only green light. There we go. My timing is perfect. I started accelerating just before the light turned green, so it was kind of almost legal. Right, if we have to get down to Grove Street, then, so I'm going to go another block across here, then turn left and head down towards Grove. Grove Street is normally a bad idea because it's a dead end if you go right into it, but as long as I sort of approach it reasonably carefully, then I should be, and turn soon after, I should be fine. And like I said, they're not going to expect me to be in a Waitrose truck, are they? Because it's just such an obvious bad idea. and it'll, at least if we do get into a pushing match, it hopefully will do reasonably well. Now GTA physics is a little bit sus, and so you can I've seen cars get pushed around by motorbikes in the past, but you know, hopefully it'll work. Okay, we've got a green light. Oh, is that supposed to be a filter lane there? Don't know. I'm just going to sit behind this limo and wait to see what it does. Okay, I have to follow Mark, which is unfortunate. No, don't do that. Don't get in the way. Ooh, I'm on the wrong side of the road. That's very unfortunate. British instincts kicking in there. Okay, he's gone. That's a good thing. That's a second checkpoint taken. Mark will probably now come back at high speed. Ooh. Mike has killed Pete and then been dispatched in retribution. It has become night, so that's good, I think. Except I'm in a massive white box van, so that's less good for me. But still, that's a checkpoint taken in a Waitrose van, so that's good from my satisfaction and amusement. Right. Okay. Now, yeah, you see that pink car didn't even look twice. Maybe. I'm not sure whether it's looking twice or whether it's just driving into stuff. Okay, continue off this way then. Harwick Avenue and Meteor Street. I don't know where Alter is, but I guess we'll find out at some point fairly soon. However, yes, as previously discussed, I think I need a new vehicle. That one in front of me looks interesting. It's probably not going to be a good one to take, but it looks interesting, so maybe I should anyway. I might try the easiest way to steal another car is to pull up next to it and jump out of one and into the other. So there we go, it's stopped. So if I pull up here... Oh, no, lights have gone green, can't do that. Okay, I'll carry on then, for now. There are so few cars around. And none of the ones I'm seeing are any good. Yeah, I mean, maybe I should now go back to Plan A and head over towards the beach and try and switch into something good over there. Or I could take a limo to continue the comedy vehicles thing. Let's at least upgrade to the limo. Hopefully it'll have tinted windows so nobody will be able to see what I look like. Oop, there's one of the police cars going through. Ha! I pulled off a vehicle change right next to that police car and he didn't spot me. That's quite satisfying. Alright, let's head over to the beach and see if we can find a car that isn't terrible. I mean, it nearly worked last time, except it got away and then I got spotted trying to chase it because I'm a muppet. No, not into the... No, don't go to the petrol station. Carry on up here. Yes, this is good. Oh, that's a green light, so I can go this way. I think I might have got some attention then, and I'm not sure why. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's just Pete was going this way anyway. Okay, we'll continue to follow Pete, which is probably unwise, but it's kind of what I'm committed to doing, and not following the traffic laws is probably more suspicious. There's so many limos around that hopefully me being in this one is going to be slightly subtle. And so far so good. Maybe it helps that between runs I was basically saying, yeah, I think I essentially need to use a sports car to have any chance of staying ahead of the police cars. And I'm now very much not using sports cars. It seems to be working though. So where is this checkpoint anyway? That was not the button I meant to press. Ooh. Suddenly police cars everywhere. What is going on here? Oh, this is tense. This is tense, basically because, well, I'm driving a terrible vehicle. They're not suspicious of me. They're just all over the place and a bit leery. But because I'm driving a bad vehicle, I'm just getting very, very paranoid about them all. And I don't really know where I'm going either, which is slightly unfortunate. What's Al doing? Where's he going? Okay, he's investigating that. I don't even know what that is. But he's scared it a bit. There's lots of cars around me shenaniganing. This is good because this is distracting him. He's going off chasing them because they're breaking the traffic laws because they got scared because they got intercepted by various police cars in unfortunate ways. What is that hearse doing? Let's try and follow that Jeep, because I'm in this lane and this is the direction I want to go. Oh, this is tense. The hunters will definitely be kicking themselves. This has been a ridiculous one. There's Al's police car over there. I can see the blue door on it. There is shooting happening. People are getting scared. Let's continue. Join in with the getting scared and run up this way, because I don't want to drive past him, just in case it was me he was shooting at. It doesn't seem likely, but you never know. Okay, I might have given myself away a little bit there, but there's a yeah, I have. I'm now, well, at least I'm now being chased. But there was a lot of panicking going on, so I felt like I had to sort of, I wanted to join in with the panicking, but I think I joined in a bit too enthusiastically, and things didn't go well for me. Now, how does the straight line speed? Let's do the first test. Straight line speed. How does the limo and the police car compare? Comparable. The police car is a little bit faster. Mike is definitely catching up with me. Cornering abilities. Oh, problematic. No, not that button. That button. There we go. Ability. Circle off. Right, there we go. Yeah. Ooh. Now this is the point where I would be going, oh, I should have gone for the ditch it in the sea approach. That would have been much more sensible. But I've got the circle off now, which means I can do that and then swim over to the beach without them getting. Well, I don't know, because usually when I try and swim over, when I do the ditch it in the ocean trick, I do tend to end up going over towards the. Oh, come on, get some grip. Oh, I had no grip in the rain. I just couldn't get moving. Oh. That was funny. You missed me so many times.
Were you in a
How
limo?
many times were you on the limo?
I was in the limo. I changed into the limo a little while after I took the last checkpoint that I took, which I took in a Waitrose truck. Yeah, and I mostly I would have been driving more sports cars,
Hostile.
but I just couldn't find any.
There aren't any, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't approve of this current spawn set. That everything is dreadful.
By sports car, I assume you mean limo. That's what you want, yeah?
All there was limos, Hummer limos, and Jeeps, and things that were worse. That was basically it. The spawn set was atrocious.
So, flip
I
side,
Hey.
we kept missing you.
Yes.
So
that is
driving
true.
terrible cars is beneficial.
Yeah, but only for a certain amount of time, because yes, it does work for a little while driving the terrible cars.
Yeah.
But then when eventually I get found because everybody panics around me and I don't panic quite as convincingly as the rest of the AIs, and then I get chased and then I'm doomed.
Yeah.
Because there's no way I could have got away in that limo.
Crash.
Especially not in the rain.
There we go. I thought you would be complaining about the rain last time. So it's good to
Let's
get
see
it.
what this does.
Like you heard. Oh,
Yeah, and
There's
right
something
at the end
smash.
there, my car was just getting absolutely no grip. I don't know whether that was the rain or just it's actually probably just because I mashed the accelerator and didn't.
hello. Turns out we're nearby each other.
Hi.
I was just
Still
looking down the scope.
limos and stuff.
What's dead? What's dead?
Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to have to start making sort of clips videos again, showing just entertaining bits of a run where lots of shenanigans happened. Like I took a checkpoint and nobody saw me, that sort of thing. Because there were some quite nice sneaky bits in that, but the chases so far today haven't been particularly interesting.
What?
You know, Laurence, you could just, do better driving.
Yeah, you could get good.
I'm not sure I
You thought
can.
it'd be good.
Yeah, in fairness, I'm not sure you can either.
I don't have a character anymore. You killed me that hard, Mark.
My
How
face
do I
fell
train?
off.
I've got footsteps. I'm a ghost.
Press F7.
F7. Oh, now I'm naked, but at least I've got a person.
Small improvements.
Keep pressing it, maybe you'll get your clothes back.
Yeah, I was just wondering if maybe one of them had a gun. No.
There were some concerningly naked character models, but we took them out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I don't want to get
Guys just
demonetized.
No, Chris and I spent a fair few hours going through them one time.
Spent a fair few hours
Yeah.
looking at naked people.
Basically, yes. The things we do for your channel, Laurence. The sacrifices we make. Such as our mental health.
Oh, another one of them stupid cars with the massive wheels. Oh, come on. I was going to get the stupid cars with the stupid car with the massive wheels.
There's loads of hearses around as well. I noticed that.
There's hearses,
Yeah.
there's limos, and there's them pimped out cars. And
Out.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who thinks it's kind of appropriate that after we've done a couple of runs, there are that number of hearses needed in the city?
You do keep killing each other, I've noticed.
Mike.
Pete. I blame Pete.
I blame Mike.
I don't have any guns anymore.
No,
Can't
'cause you
steal
don't-
You
cars.
can't blame Mike because Mike is the best.
Mike is a pest, you're right.
Who's that driving erratically now?
Driving erotically, what?
We're good now, we got rid of all the naked skins. Oh, that was a long way down.
Just going to stand on here.
Maybe I should just hide on a rooftop for an entire game.
Doesn't that make the
Ooh.
circle smaller and
Nice
smaller
shot.
until you
Yep.
get...
Yeah.
Also, do you remember you tried that in a very recent video?
Yes.
Landstalker. Hey, this is a different car. I haven't seen one of these for a while. Oh, Tristan, you fixed it. Christian, you fixed it.
I
So confused.
turned it back to the default spawn set.
Now I've actually got cars again, yeah.
So, you remember how I just learned how to roll in the last session? I forgot again.
It's actually,
You press Alt and F4 at the same time to roll.
This is not how
Right,
you
what
how
cars
you
are
roll.
spawning now?
I can see a hearse.
Normal
hear shooting.
sort of cars.
Yeah, the big wheel car. So basically what we had
There's
before,
a
I think.
relatively normal 4x4 going past.
That was a Mustang.
So is this a decent spawn set then?
Oh, nice.
It
Not
seems
full
to
of-
be, well, there's been a hearse and three SUVs so far.
Okay, spawn me.
Oh, I see a
Kill
limo.
that hunger, heavy shelling.
2 limos.
Yes.
Hey,
yes,
yes, sir.
Well, it's trying to
not
be. Yeah.
whitelisted.
I like it when I
Let's
start
take this
here.
Mustang.
Definitely
Ed
get your
can be
maths
here
out.
now.
It's contagious.
Hello,
I was
Ed.
wondering how maths would help with
Hello,
that
Ed.
until I played it back and heard what you actually said.
Oh, a police car.
You played it back.
In my head, yeah. Can you not do that?
I think it might be where I am, but it seems to be all SUVs here. But I think that's because I'm sort of in the light industrial area.
Let's
Right,
have a look.
ruin's
I've
my
got
ruiner.
SUV, SUV,
Something pink,
SUV.
a pink.
We're not going to be yellow now.
SUV,
Phoenix just
SUV,
gone through.
SUV. Yeah, there's all SUVs here. I've got
Yeah,
a single other car.
I get a lot of
Sedan,
hearses and
sedan,
limos still, but a lot of decent
Yeah.
other cars as well.
Bus.
Wow.
Let's give it a
Hummer.
shot. See what happens.
Yeah, the only non-SUV was an ambulance.
Limo.
Was.
Hearse.
Oh, I can see a Phoenix now. That's an actual
Should we go
car.
for
Phoenix, my car, I'll
back
kill
to
him.
normal vehicles for this?
Okay.
Another
Actually,
hearse.
Ed, are you back in yet?
Yes.
Back in or just in?
I'm in.
Are you in?
That's what
We
she
tried to join.
You, Ed.
but I couldn't.
Ah, I see. Oh yes, because whitelist.
Hey, no God, welcome to the stream. Yeah, it's been going interestingly so far. There've been some quite good
Why was I
sneaky bits,
unwhitelisted?
and there've been some rather protracted
Ah,
chases that
hey!
didn't go particularly well. But we'll see how it
My
goes. We'll see how this
car.
run goes. Oh,
My
I like this car.
My world. There's a car jumping over.
Hi, Laurence.
Bye bye. Right, this is probably unwise driving into the airport, but there's often good cars in the airport car parks. Now, unfortunately, we've been playing silly buggers with the spawn sets recently, and the game doesn't seem to have recovered. So, I think I am actually just going to take a Jeep. There's so many of them around that hopefully it'll blend in. Why did you break the window? Why didn't you just climb in over the top? It's It's not even a convertible, it's a converted. It doesn't have a roof. Oh well. We'll stick with this until we find something better. So, right, yes, welcome to Laurence Plays. We are playing Manhunt Checkpoint, and that means I am the prey, I'm driving around the city, and I'm looking for checkpoints. There will be 5 of them that I will be offered one at a time. Currently, the first one is in West Eclipse Boulevard in Morningwood, so that's going to be a bit of a drive. Maybe I'll see if I can get onto the highway. It's going to be tricky from where I am, but never mind. I think the hunters might all be in police cars again. I'm not quite sure because, well, they didn't say one way or the other, but I think they were quite enjoying that, so I imagine they're probably going to do it again. So this is going to require me to get quite a long way up the city, and if I do it on the surface roads like this, it's going to take quite a long time. I suspect that limo has just driven into that jeep. Well done there. I think I might go up the airport jump. That's this. Oh, actually, no. Let's go through the car park. Let's go through the car park. That's going to look suspicious to anyone who sees me doing it, but it's going to look less suspicious than going up the jump, and it's going to get me going in about the right direction a little bit more quickly. And I can have a look and see if I can find a slightly more acceptable car. There are various minis around. A mini is a possibility, but I think I'll stick with this Jeep because I haven't really used one yet today, and it's at least something different. But the fact there's minis showing up at least tells me that at long last the spawn set seems to be recovering and heading back to sort of slightly more normal vehicles. We had a run last time where every vehicle seemed to be either a limo, a Humvee limo, or what was the other thing that kept cropping up? I think it was these Jeeps actually. So yeah, there's lots of them around. Oh no, there's a hunter in a dune buggy. That's different. So maybe the police car obsession has worn off a little bit. I'm just going to keep going here and hope he doesn't see me doing this, because I just want to keep moving really. Because the hunters have a little bit of a clue as to where I am. So you'll see in the bottom left corner of the screen there are distances popping up, and that's telling me how big the circle on the map is. And this circle on the map follows me around, so at least when I touch the edge of it, it will jump to ensure that I stay inside it. And that gives the hunters a bit of a clue as to where I am in the city, because the city's a big place. They're not going to be able to. They don't want to have to search the entire thing to try and find me. So that gives them a clue. So that should mean I will see the hunters a bit more than I would if they were just searching, everywhere. But at the moment, happily, I can't see any of them. Maybe 650 meters is big enough to keep them some way away from me. No, we're still getting weird cars spawning in by the looks of it. And no, we're not playing. We're not in all cars are grey. Well, I mean, we kind of are in all cars are grey mode because we haven't turned 90s paint mode on. So this is just how GTA normally spawns vehicles in. So it looks like sort of the standard 2020s or the 2010s or whenever this is set. Do you mind? Why was that car attacking? Why did that car come over and attack me? Was it because I was at the front of a queue of traffic? It might have been, actually. That is a sort of a reason why hunters will sometimes attack vehicles. So, he quite clearly came over and was investigating me quite hard, so I'm going to try and get out of here. Let's see what we can do. Let's come through here. Let's take the jump through this way, because that's slightly less expected. What did that... I don't know what it hit. I don't want to know. I just want to get over here and get out of here. This car is not fast enough to take these jumps properly, it turns out. But this is getting me out of there, which is, job one. So we'll head down this way. Maybe head up along the beach, see if we can find something else to change into that isn't terrible. Nobody's following me, that's good. That's terrible, that's terrible. Let's go one more road down and then head along here, because this is heading in roughly the right direction for the checkpoint, actually. So this is sort of convenient. And let's see what we can find. Now there's a relatively normal SUV. I think that's a Serrano, but it was moving, so I didn't really want to try and steal it because that would be complicated. This is bringing me up towards the beach car park, and there tend to be a lot of good cars in there. So that if I haven't found anything by the time I get there, we'll give that a shot. The only problem is, if the hunters see the circle over this way, there aren't a huge number of places you can get to over here, so they might get suspicious. And, of course, the car park is completely empty. What? Okay. Well, let's try the other beach car park. So we'll park up here. We'll get out of the car. Get out of the car. Thank you. head up this way. And there is another car park over here, which admittedly doesn't tend to have good vehicles in quite the same way that the one down at the bottom does, but they're usually at least reasonably good. So let's check this out, see what we can find. This is ridiculous. There is nothing here. Now, the last Jeep I had was grey, I think. So let's take the red one this time, at least for a little bit of variety. But my goodness, this is ridiculous. There is nothing to steal. I mean, you're supposed to get interesting vehicles spawning occasionally, right? That's how this game works. We might have to restart something. I don't know what, because this is not playing nicely. So there's just more Jeeps down there in that car park. Right. Yeah, we have limos, Hummers, and Jeeps mode. And somebody's shooting down at the bottom because that's what they do when they get bored, apparently. So yeah, let's not be here. There is Mark ahead of me in an identical Jeep. Don't you dare. I'm trying the play dead trick. I don't think it's worked. He's looking at me. Let's get out of here. Oh, it's going to be another very, very slow chase. Because we're both in these terrible, terrible Jeeps. And that red car, whatever that red car was, I've no idea, but I don't think it was much better. Oh dear, this is going to be an adventure. And not in the good way. Oh, taco van. Taco time. Right, let's... a little bit of straight line. Yeah, a little bit of straight line. That seems to have done the trick. A little bit more straight. Ooh, actually, let's take the checkpoint while we're up here. Since I'm here, I'm not in a chase. I'm gonna go. Yoink. I said yoink. Yoink. Can has checkpoint. There we go. Bang. Hey, a car. An actual car. Let's park this here and hide down here for a minute. Hide in the tree. Because the hunters may have been notified where the checkpoint was. They might come up this way and to have an investigate. And I don't really want to be stealing a car in front of them because that's never a good plan. Here, engines. I parked my Jeep fairly neatly in the car park, so even if they do come through this way, hopefully... Yep, there's that red car again. And a pink one. And a white limo, but that's nothing to be alarmed about. Okay, okay, I can't stay here forever. Let's get back over here. Let's take that car. No, not that car. That car. It's unlocked. Bonus. Oh, it's another one of those 8Fs that I had in the last run. These are actually really, really good. And I think I might just try and hang on to this one, even if the hunter spot it. Okay, Del Perro Freeway, Vinewood. So I need to get on the freeway to Vinewood. What's the best way to do this? I think I'm going to run away because I think that might mean him trying to steal my car. That will have triggered him, of course, to start chasing me. But I don't care because I've got a much better car. Now I actually have a worthwhile car. I can put my foot down and get away from them. Now that the hunters probably, I was going to say probably shouldn't be trying to steal this car because they don't know that these are, they didn't know that sports cars were unlocked. But maybe he didn't know what sort of car it was. I don't know. But let's get across the city nice and quick like this. And it said freeway, so let's get onto the freeway. Like this. Now I am going to stick out a bit now. Oh, it's the wrong bit of freeway. I can't. This isn't going where I wanted to go. Never mind. I'll pull an illegal U-turn at some point. Right. So yes, this is now going. I've got a good car at last, but it's almost too good, and it's because there's nothing this good nothing else this good spawning. So I might stick out like a bit of a sore thumb, but that's a risk I'm prepared to take because it means when we get into a chase, I've got a good chance of getting away. Hopefully the hunters are going to have similar difficulties getting good cars than I was, and they were all in fairly terrible stuff beforehand. Now, unfortunately, there are a few places where sports cars are likely to spawn, so if they now know that they're allowed sports cars, there's a fairly high chance that suddenly things will get a little bit dicey for me. Okay, the checkpoint is on over there on that on-ramp, so let's go around that way and grab that. Couple of left turns and I'll be on it. Yeah, so the problem is, if they know that I'm in basically a grey sports car, that they're going to be out looking for it, if they see me, they're going to start investigating almost straight away. So let's just go straight back down here. I saw a car going across there. It was a red one, but I'm not sure whether it was a hunter or not. But I'll pull up here, take the checkpoint anyway, and I'll be randomly turned around by the checkpoint effect. That's fine. I can deal with that. Oop, that was a very orange... very orange Range Rover. Let's not stick around near it. Let's just skedaddle leisurely. Oh, there's a Pete bike behind me. Now, this means if Pete's on a bike, that means I can do this and blow him up. Because we have a rule in this game that the hunters aren't allowed to use a class of vehicle until the prey has used it. Now, they get a couple of ones free to start with. So they get SUVs, sedans, and compacts as free starter vehicles, essentially. So they're allowed to use those no matter what. But they're not allowed to use anything exotic like coupes, sports cars, muscle cars, bikes, anything until the prey has, and I hadn't. So, you know, boom goes the Pete. Easy. So now I want to loop around this way. I need to get down to Vespucci Beach again. So back to the beach, and we'll keep our eyes peeled for anything remotely good now once we go head over that way. Because if I can find something that's as good as this car, then I would quite like to change it. Because this is a little bit blatant. But now that I've used a sports car, I kind of need to continue using sports cars. Okay, they drove straight past me, so now that I'm driving slowly and sensibly, either they assume that I will have changed into a different vehicle, or they're just not noticing me. He was noticing me. I'm not hanging around. Fortunately, this Audi seems to have a good amount of acceleration, because half the time when a hunter gets out of a car close to you like that, you don't have very much time to react, basically. It tends to get a bit scary a bit quickly. Now the problem is there aren't any other sports cars for me to change into. Let's have a look in this car park, just because I'm here. See if there's anything remotely good, because yeah, it's got to the point where if they see me and if they see this car, they're going to get suspicious immediately. But I've unlocked sports cars for them, so I don't really want to change into anything worse than certainly I don't want to change into any of those random bits of crap that are driving around on the streets, because it would just get me in trouble. But for some reason, all the car parks are completely full. I'm going to jump out of this one because yeah, there's just nothing worth stealing, basically. Maybe I should go for a police car. That's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah, let's get... There's a police station just up here. Let's see if it's got any police cars. Because, yeah, this is really difficult because there's so few... No, there aren't even any police cars spawned outside it. What is going on? You see, as soon as they spot this car, they get suspicious. Alright, I'll go this way then. As soon as they spot this car, they get suspicious because it's the only good car in the city. So, I can't keep it. It's just going to be too dangerous. I am now... But there's... Ooh, at least I know, now at least I know where the checkpoint is. So that's going to be convenient. Yeah, so... I don't know. None of them are driving particularly good vehicles, even though they've seen me driving a sports car. So that suggests they can't find any either, and therefore I might be safe switching into something that isn't as good as I would like. Let's see if there's anything interesting spawning in the movie studios, because there's usually some cars up at the end of it in the little car park up here. Sometimes they're okay. I suppose we'll have to take the Range Rover. It's not really what I would like. What's that one down? Is that? Maybe let's take that other one. I'm not even sure what it is. But at the very least, it's not what I'm in at the moment. So, and it's unlocked. So that's convenient. There's a Landstalker. Oh dear. Oh, it's an ex-Pete car. Oh, you know what? Let's take it because it's an ex-Pete car. I mean, I don't think this is going to go particularly well for me. But if it throws the hunters off a little bit, then it might be worth it. So I've got the green underglow. I've got the green headlights. I've got the, yeah, generally this looks like Pete. So, I mean, as soon as they say, hey Pete, are you in such and such a place, it'll give the game away. But for now, can I do a convincing Pete impression? I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. There's a yellow car down there. That might have been Ed. I'm not sure. It moved away too quickly for me to really look at it properly. But yeah, this might do me some good. Now, of course, if they see a... Ow. Okay, so that's one of the checkpoint effects, is that occasionally you will randomly get out of your car for no good reason when a checkpoint is taken. Yeah. Yes, the only good car in the city, and then I immediately broke it. It was still better than any other car in the city, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, so there you go. That pink car dodged me, even though I was driving like a loon, because I'm in a Pete green car. Now, eventually, they'll communicate with each other a little bit. Or alternatively, I'll find the real Pete, just like that. Oh no! And then they'll all go, oh no, and start chasing the Pete green car, because hopefully, actually, this might be really, really good, because if they all if they get the idea that I'm in a Pete car, then maybe, is he following me? Maybe, not sure. If they all get the idea that I'm driving a Pete car around, then maybe they'll attack Pete through sheer confusion, and that will work very, very well for me. We shall see. But for now, there is definitely a hunter behind me. He's got a green headlight. So I think I need to not be here. Let's go up the ramp here. This isn't going to get me away because it's going to make me really, really obvious. But at least it's going to get me in an away sort of direction. Ooh, there's only one checkpoint left. Awesome. I might actually win this one through sheer sort of ridiculousness and weird shenaniganery. Right, he's fallen quite a long way back. So if I take a turn here, and then a turn here, and then try and find an alleyway or something to ditch it in. Boop. We'll just ditch it in here, maybe this will do. Does it even say Pete? Yeah, I didn't notice that it said Pete on the back when I was stealing it. I mean, that is a blatant clue, but I didn't see it. Okay, so don't go and steal a car on that road. That's far too busy, far too major a road, probably. I don't know actually. We'll see how it goes. There's Mark in a sports car. He has not spotted me because I'm on foot and therefore vaguely subtle. Oop, I've just kicked over a pile of empty boxes. That's fine. Oh, now I need to find a car as usual. Let's at least walk towards the checkpoint. I mean, if I'm going to be on foot, let's be on foot heading in the right direction. Now, Vinewood Hills could be anywhere. Marlow Drive, is that the really long one that I got stuck up on earlier? I think it might be. I could go and take that SUV. Ooh, or a bike. A bike is a plan. Bike is an excellent plan. Give me that. I finally found something worthwhile. Now the problem with being on there is a problem with being on a bike, and that's that green car, is that you don't end up with a helmet if you're a player who's just stolen a bike. So if they look closely, then they'll realise because of that. However, I think my hair looks reasonably helmet-like. Now, I'm not dressed like a biker should. I'm not stopping for this light. That's just a bad idea. I'm not dressed like a biker should be. I've got no protective gear on it whatsoever. But Are they going to notice that? I don't know. The other problem with the bike, of course, is that if they do suspect me, I'm very, very vulnerable. So actually, I should probably go a bit faster. Now, I'm pretty sure that Marlow Drive is the one that's right up in the top of the hills. So I'm going to head all the way out this way, up the side road. And if I do this, I don't know. No, I can't drive up there at high speed. That's not fair. I don't do things like that because it's close and practically cheating. Let's go up here and see if I can. No, not like. Yeah, so that's why I don't like bikes, or one of the many reasons. Now I'm gonna be doing the trying to find a car thing again, and this is going to go badly because it always does, as it seems. But never mind. At least I'm in a weird and obscure place where the hunters probably aren't going to go, and you'd hope one of these houses would have a car in its drive, wouldn't you? But no, apparently not. I'm not even going to be fussy at this point. I just want a car. Let's get up onto the slightly more major road up here and try and find something to steal. Oop, suddenly cars, and I just missed them all. Is that a traffic light? But no, it isn't. Now in single player, what you do in this sort of situation is you go out and stand in the middle of the road and make whatever car turns up first stop and then nick it. But that's not safe in this, because if they see someone standing in the middle of the road, they're going to attack them, because it's going to obviously be me. Right. There are some traffic lights there. The traffic lights are... Alright, we'll take a Hummer limo, because... for the lols, basically.
Holy.
Steal the limo. Steal the limo. There we go.
Oh, let me out! Let me out! You lunatic! Let me out!
Okay. Oop. I tried not to run him over, but he was really insistent on getting in the way. So, you know, you get what this is what happens. Right, so let's wind this massive, massive vehicle up some of the narrowest roads in the city. There's another Landstalker, like the Pete machine I had before. Hello, Joe Landos. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Yes, I was indeed. The helmet laws are problematic. Actually, let's just stop here for a second. Have a look at the map. Make sure the checkpoint is where yes, it is where I think it is. Okay, so I am just going to have to follow this road all the way up round to get it. Whew, that was lucky. I'm very surprised Mike didn't attack me then, because the car was basically just stopped at the side of the road and then suddenly started moving as he went past it. I'm honestly astounded I got away with that one. But at this point, well, I'll take what I can get, I suppose. Now, we did have, earlier this evening, in a previous run, we did have a checkpoint that was up basically where this one is. And they are somewhat random, but the game seems to have some favourite areas. And so, well, I did manage to take it, but it was a bit of a faff. Let's see if I can do it again. And because this is the last one, I don't need to worry too much about how I get away afterwards. Well, I do need to worry a bit about how I get away afterwards, but not quite as much as I would otherwise. Which road is it? It's not this one, I don't think. Pretty sure it's the next one. Whoa! Stay in the lane, Laurence. Stop looking at the map like that. Now, if I had a more sensibly sized vehicle, I would be very tempted to go cross country again. But I don't think the limo is going to work well with that idea. So I think this one is actually just going to have to follow the road, which is slightly unfortunate because, yeah, there's a dark coloured car coming up behind me. Okay, I have a bad feeling about this. That is that is almost certainly a hunter. That's Tristan. Oh, and I've just driven off the road. So he now knows this is me, and he's following me up here into the hills. There we go. Now he knows I know it's him, and I am attempting to flee. It's not going particularly well, but I am attempting to flee. This is another one of those stupid chases where neither of us has a vehicle that can go and do any sort of decent speed. We're both in absolutely terrible cars. Now, he's going to probably know that there's not a lot he can do against me because my vehicle is so much bigger and heavier than his. So he's probably going to be calling for reinforcements, telling them where I'm going, and they're going to come up here and attempt to gang up on me because that's what they do. Maybe I shouldn't have turned my lights off. Maybe I should have just pretended I didn't know he was there. You see, that's the problem. He can ram into me all he wants, but it's not going to do him any good because my car's so much bigger and heavier. However, as I say, he can call in friends, and if there's enough of them, then they can probably make my day a bit less fun, and sort of just spoil everything for me. I mean, I can do that, but it doesn't actually do any good. An end door braking maneuver is all very well, but if if there's nowhere to go afterwards, then the car that's chasing you is just going to go, okay then, yes, you braked, well done there, and carry on following you. So he seems to have gone now, which is interesting. Let's ping off the signpost, go up this way. Oh cool, they just shot past. Right, let's turn the circle off for a moment or two, and I'll try and find a new vehicle, and then I'll think about another approach to that final checkpoint. Because generally, I should have taken that. Actually, probably should have taken that one. But let's carry on a little bit further up the hill because I don't know why. Just because it seems like a good idea. Stop here. Like that. What are you? I kind of don't. Okay, I care a little bit. Let's take that then. Oh, have I just turned the circle back on again? I was hammering the button on the wrong thing. So there we go. Let's head back down here then. Ooh, let's follow this path. I've no idea where it goes, and I know that AIs wouldn't do this, but let's do this. Turn the circle back on again, and attempt to approach the checkpoint from an entirely unexpected direction. I don't know how this is going to go, especially as I did something not entirely dissimilar to this in a previous run. But I think it's worth a try, because I think it's probably going to go better than trying to take it in the more obvious way along the main road. So let's carry on up around here like this. Yeah, I can follow this trail. Make the most of having an off-road vehicle, well, a slightly off-road vehicle. It's not in the actual off-road vehicle class, but at least it seems to be able to climb up here without too much difficulty. Turn the lights back on again because I'm now going on a road. Okay, this is interesting and tense and absolutely terrifying. Oh, did he smash into a car I passed? That explains why he disappeared. Okay, good. Because I suppose at some... He's found me again, annoyingly. I am in a slightly better vehicle this time though, so maybe I'll be able to do. Maybe I'll be able to actually outrun him. I guess. Hunters. I guess we seem to be leaving the city at this point. So this is going to be awkward on the map. No, don't external camera. That wasn't what I wanted to do at all. Let's go back round that loop again. How's the front of my car doing? Oh, damn it! I've smashed a headlight. That's unfortunate. I should probably change vehicle again at some point because I've broken it. What's that? Is that... Found him. He seemed to say. Can I go through this? Yes! Geronimo! This is either going to go very well or very badly, or possibly just dangerously. Land on your wheels, on your wheels! Oh! It wasn't wheels, but it didn't explode, so that's good enough for me. Right, now, do I try and change vehicles, or do I go straight for the checkpoint? Oh, there's Mike. Is he following me? I don't know. I daren't stop and find out. But there's a car there that I could change into, so if I can get down here and hide the... Stash this car... Oh, stash this car in a... I don't care where, just stash it somewhere. Like this. That'll do. Get off the road, get off the road. There we go. I hear smashing noises behind me. I think that might be Mike coming around the corner. Oh, I can't climb up this hill. This could be a problem. They're probably going to find my abandoned car. My hope is they'll assume I changed into a different car and ran off. Or Pete's just going to throw himself off the mountain and die. That works too. I've turned the circle off, so they don't know. They don't know at this point. They don't know whether whether I'm running or whether I've gone to ground. So obviously you know I've gone to ground. I know I've gone to ground, but they don't. That's a very, very blue limo. Get in the bush. I suspect that might have been Al. This is too close to where I got out of the car. I wanted to go back to that one I drove past on the way down, but I can't climb up this hill because it's too steep.
I don't like this.
Oh no! Oh no! I was so close. Oh, and I didn't spot him in time, or at least I spotted him and then hoped I was going to get into the car, but no. Oh, that was so close.
There he is.
Mark, the sports are
Because the
showing
map
you up.
doesn't cover it.
Oh, that was so close.
I just saw you open up the car and I just shot.
Yeah.
Could you
Oh,
shoot
yeah,
again
you're
so that
interested.
we know where it is?
We were interested if you had
yeah,
a checkpoint in
yeah,
the
so-
hills, Laurence.
Yes, I did. It was in a
Okay.
very similar position to that one in the hills
Oh, there.
before.
Over there.
It seems to be a rather popular place for the game to put checkpoints.
You couldn't decide if you were trying to lose us up there and then get back to the city.
There's a lot of road space in the hills.
Yeah, I think that's probably that'll be why it happens. But
The distribution is based on coordinates, though, rather than.
yeah, but it's coordinates that are reasonably close to a bit of road.
No, it's
So-
coordinates, and then it looks for if the closest road space is close enough,
Yes,
which is slightly different.
it's based on coordinates that are reasonably close to a bit of road because it will try different coordinates until it finds one
Yeah.
that's reasonably close to a bit of road.
Yeah, but that sort of implies that it should be much lower probability of occurring in the hills because there aren't that. Oh, I suppose it depends how close to a road it has to be.
Mm.
Well, I saw your black SUV, and my car was also trashed, so I was also looking for another car. So we were both on foot.
Right.
Ah,
Yeah.
so you identified the same car to go for.
No,
Yeah,
he
I
just,
just saw him.
well,
I saw him further up the road. Yeah.
the problem I was having a lot of trouble with finding cars in that. Not just finding good cars, but frequently there just literally weren't any. So I think the spawn rate for cars might be a bit too low.
It's a balance because
It
if
is,
it's
yeah.
higher,
So hunter skill
Then-
turns spawning off.
Yeah, but
I
then,
mean, spawning is pretty low for Lawrence.
I
That's
understand the
deliberate
reason.
so that when yeah.
Yeah, I do
Sorry?
know why, but the problem is that there's just that I went through several car parks looking for an alternative car, and all the car parks were empty. It's yeah, the spawning does seem to be a bit too low. But I don't know what the answer to
Yeah,
that is.
I'll have a look at the spawning stuff because I think cars being driven and parked cars are different.
Okay.
And I would have thought I wouldn't have reduced the parked cars one, but I may have done.
Because yeah,
Just to be mean.
I found a lot of very, very empty car parks, which was a bit strange, and a lot of there were usually eventually cars on the road, but yeah, parked cars. I was looking in so many driveways trying to find cars to borrow. But yeah, it was a struggle. Basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Laurence, did you unlock Sports Force?
I did, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
The one good car in the city that I tried to hang on to and took 2 checkpoints in because it was the only good car around was technically a sports car.
Okay.
Mark found the second one.
Yep.
Okay.
I was then on the lookout for sports cars ever since that point and never saw any.
Yep. You see my problem. Oh, did you notice me driving an X-Pete car?
I
didn't really.
I
mean
noticed
to.
you were in a peat green one.
Okay. At one point, I didn't really mean to, but I grabbed a car and then it had green underglow and green headlights, and I went, "Aha! All right then."
I think I saw that one because you drove past and thought, has that got underglow?
Is that
Has that
Mark?
got my underglow?
Part of me was hoping that you'd spot it and identify it and go, "Hey, that's a Pete car," and then the real Pete would get shot and killed.
Oh,
because-
thanks for that.
Well, you know, it's always fun when one hunter shoots another one.
Oh,
It
Mark, I
depends.
think if you get in the front, you can use a gun.
It's 50-50
yeah.
whether or not that would have been spotted and then just shot thinking it was Pete.
Yeah, true. Yeah, if we're going to do another run, I think
Typically,
we
where's
need,
our land?
I think we need some sort of fairly thorough restart of something because the spawn set is not right.
Yeah,
do
because there was
this.
still a lot more hearses and stuff than you'd expect, even with this many Pete's and Mike's
I
time.
was driving that.
Yeah, the spawn set is not right at the moment. I mean,
Are we calling the last one?
Yeah, that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can remove the limos from it or something and see if that makes a difference.
can you just restart the server or something?
I've turned off that mod,
Right.
so it should be normal cars now, normal vanilla
And yet,
single player cars.
Yeah, it looks pretty standard from my perspective.
The only car I can see is one of those Jeeps that there were a bajillion of. That was the main thing that was spawning. That wasn't a limo in the last run. Who was it? What's this?
Okay, yeah, I just got onto a main road and yeah, that's a much more varied spawn set than it was before.
Yep.
Oh yeah, here's a felon.
It's got enough felon.
That's
Yeah.
a
Yes,
lot
there
of
are,
different
yeah.
cars here.
Okay, so it's SUV or felon. That's what we just deciphered.
Oh, I've got a Feltzer.
Oh.
I saw a Feltzer go past.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a much wider range. I mean, that's an
Recycling
Oracle,
truck.
that's an Oracle, that's an Oracle, that's an Oracle, that's an
Garbage
Oracle.
truck, Serrano. Another Jeep.
SUV.
I see nothing but Oracles.
too far in the wrong direction. Overcompensating. Ah,
Baltic.
Hey, Laurence.
Bye bye. Yeah, the spawn set does look a little bit more normal now. Let's take a no, come back. Saber Turbo. Oh no, it's not a Saber Turbo, it's a Ruiner. That'll do too. Get in the car. There we go. So yes, hello everybody, welcome to Laurence Plays, and it's Manhunt checkpoint time once again, and that means I am the prey. There are 5 checkpoints scattered around the city. I shall be told where they are one at a time. The first one 30 seconds after I get started properly in this car, and if I can take all 5 checkpoints, then I win the game. If the hunters manage to catch me and kill me, then they win the game. And currently we've got lots of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hunters. Blimey, this is going to be a tricky one. So the first checkpoint is down at Dry Dock Street in Cypress Flats. I don't know where that is, but it sounds vaguely industrial, so I should have stayed on the highway then. Maybe I'll just go straight across the top here and get back on it. So in order to make it a bit easier for the hunters to find me, they have a circle that shows up on their map, and they know that I'm always going to be somewhere inside that circle. That means that they have a bit of a clue as to where to look in the city, because it's a big old place. And to be honest, I probably should have said let's make the circle a lot bigger because there's so many hunters, but we haven't. So well, it'll just be up to me to see what I can do. Okay, so I am on the freeway at the moment, and that means I can go reasonably quickly without gathering too much suspicion, because all the other cars on the freeway are going at this sort of speed as well, because that's the point. So that means I should be able to get across the city fairly quickly and down to the docks area, where hopefully I will be able to take this checkpoint. I am in completely the wrong lane. Let's drive across, all the way across like that. There we go. Fortunately, the hunters are not driving around all in police cars this time, because that might have caught their suspicions, as the police don't tend to appreciate it when you just swerve wildly across a bajillion lanes like that. So, okay, carrying on down here, I think I'm approaching the checkpoint actually, so maybe I'll come off at this exit. This is going to be another pull over two lanes fairly quickly thing, isn't it? Okay, so down there, this is going to be fairly close to the old docks entrance checkpoint by the looks of it. That's okay, I guess. I mean, it's one of the harder ones to take, but only because when the hunters saw me in that area, they'd know where I was going for. So now that they only know that I'm vaguely in this area and they don't know where the checkpoint is, maybe they won't be quite so suspicious. That was Mike, though, and I wasn't driving well. However, he's driving a sports car, and that means that if I press this and abilities and that, basically we can then just blow up all of the hunters, because they were all cheating, because they're not allowed to drive classes of cars that I haven't driven yet. So tut to them all. They were all in sports cars. I didn't even see how many of them that was that I blew up, but it was a lot of them. That was That was very impressive. I mean, I think that might be a new personal best for number of hunters blown up in one vengeance explosion. Now I won't take that ruiner because it's the same colour as this ruiner, so it's a bit too obvious. Or it's virtually the same colour as this ruiner. But I will make my way over into the ghetto before while I wait for the next checkpoint to be announced. And while I'm over here, let's see if we can switch to another muscle car that's of a completely different type. So hopefully it'll. Oh, nope! Suddenly we have a mark. What's he? He's driving a sedan, and those are allowed. So that means I can't blow him up, which is a shame because that is a nice, quick, and easy way of getting out of a chase. But you can't always blow the hunters up. Sometimes they're not cheating, so you know. But there is the next checkpoint, so that's worth remembering. Now, I could go and take it. The only rule about taking checkpoints is that I have to be virtually stationary when I do so. However, I prefer, unless things are getting a bit silly, I prefer not to take them while I'm actively in a chase. So I'm going to keep going for a little while. There is Mike. Goodbye, Mike. I've got my foot flat to the floor, so that's okay. I can just keep going, and he probably won't be able to catch up with me because he has to turn around. That said, it means he's not all that far away, and so he might catch up with me sooner or later. So let's duck into the car park here and see if I can find something else to drive. Now, I don't really want to upgrade too much, but it looks like I'm going to be taking a coupe at this point, which is a little bit of a shame. But on the plus side, it does mean I'm in a better car than they will be. Oh dear, Mike's coming in here to investigate. Oh, there isn't a way through the barriers there. So now, not only has Mike seen me, he's also seen that I'm driving a coupe, and that means that the hunters now know that they are allowed to drive coupes. Now, they might... It's up to them. It's kind of up to them. They can take the risk of cheating and driving cars that they haven't been unlocked yet. And sometimes they do, as you saw right at the beginning of the run, because I've been driving a lot of sports cars today, so they've perhaps got used to me using those, and so they're assuming that I'm going to carry on with them. But I thought, no, let's not do that this time. Let's stick with starter cars. Oh no, Mike is still back there. I can see a flash of orange in the distance. However, if I come back down into Ghetto, I should be able to then use the blinding speed of this Jackal. Jackal, not the best of the coupe class, but it's good enough. It's enough to get me away from Mike in whatever sadness mobile that was that he was using. I think it was a Prairie. It was one of the it was one of the sedans anyway. So yes, I should be able to get away from him. In fact, I think I have got away from him without too much difficulty. Now, it would probably be a good idea for me to change cars at this point. Not into that though. Because they've all seen me driving this. Well, I have been spotted in this car, therefore it is a dangerous one to continue using. However, that means I need to find something worthwhile, and since they all know that coupes are unlocked, ideally I want another coupe. What's that ahead of me? I don't want to switch into a sports car yet, or a muscle car. Is that Vigor? Yeah, it's a Vigoro, isn't it? No, it's a Buccaneer. Yeah, Buccaneer will do. Stop. Give me a car. Right, so I'm now in a clean, previously unseen car. Mark has driven around me. Tristan is driving past me. Good. Things are going well so far. They might discover the car I've just abandoned though. Let me through. There we go. So they might know that I've just come back this way. If they're really switched on, they might remember the car that they both drove past. But I suspect they probably won't, because there's enough cars in this city that I don't think they'd have just noticed one random one going past them like that. So I'm going to make a beeline straight for the checkpoint, which is going to mean the circle moves over this way quite obviously, and they're all going to see it. But I think that's going to be my best bet. But this is not how you go through this junction. My best bet for getting another checkpoint under my belt. So if I turn right here, let's take that. Even though Mike is right there, Mike is still in that prairie, so I think I'm in with a good chance of getting away from him. If I come around here like this and up this way, oh no, there's a pink car there that has had a bit of an unfortunateness coming around the corner. That's good for me, bad for him. Let's get round here, and then I think if I bomb down this way, and after a couple of blocks, oh no, there's Mark, he's still kind of with me. If I come down here, if I get onto the highway, I think I've got enough of a lead that I can now go whichever way I want up here, and he won't know. Although that said, the circle will tell him. So instead, let's go off here instead, like this. Basically, try My goal here is to try and be reasonably unpredictable. None of them seem to have followed me. That's good. Oh, I meant to come off. I meant to come off here and go up into that car park. That was a mistake. I didn't mean to come up this way. In fact, because you see, they're all going to bomb past like that. I'm glad I stopped then. I was thinking of turning round and going back down again, but in the end I didn't. But this worked out quite well for me. So let's carry on this way. I don't see anything around. Oop, let's drop off here like this. Now, he might have seen me do that, but if he did, there's not going to be that much information from that the hunters can use. It's more sort of, he went down there and then ran away. So, hopefully, if I head up this way now, I'd like to change cars again, because being in a recognised and identified car is not good for my continued existence. Let's keep going away from the checkpoint a little bit further, and then along here, and I'll try and pull off a car change somewhere down this road. Yeah, that'll do, actually. Let's take a... Do you mind? AIs are not supposed to be that aggressive, even when they know they're about to be carjacked. So let's take the Huntley. Pull it down the road here. There we go. So now I'm driving a very different vehicle from what they would expect me to be driving, because I've escalated to coupes. They're not going to expect me to have dropped back down to an SUV, probably. I hope. There is shooting happening. That means I can run that pedestrian over. Apparently, no. Well, I was going to say I can run that red light and not feel too guilty about it. Now, there's a hunter there. Let's take the right turn on the orange, which is kind of okay. There is my next checkpoint. Good. So this is going well so far, because I'm on the approach. Now, if they get suspicious of this car, then I could be in trouble, because, well, they're going to be in faster vehicles than me. The only way I can get a faster car than them at the moment is by switching over to a sports car. And I'm not, whilst there are a few around here, I'm not really ready to escalate to that level yet, because I think that'll make things a little bit too dangerous. So, better idea. Head down here. Stop here. Stop here. Snag the checkpoint. And get moving again. Hopefully nobody saw that. There's Mark. Oh dear, Mark saw that. Let's skedaddleo. So if I get up here, round here, and then onto here, and let's take the down route, because normally I'll go up if I'm trying to escape and take the jump. So hopefully if I do that, hopefully that means Mark is no longer behind me. I can carry on along here. I'll drop off the freeway here, because that just seems like a good idea to keep them guessing. And then I can head down this way back down into the into the industrial area. At this point, I kind of need to change vehicle again. What's that behind me? No, it's not a Hunter. Okay, good. I kind of could do with a vehicle change. Let's take this Phoenix. Or no, let's take the Phoenix. The Phoenix is better than the Prairie, I'm pretty sure. Especially as it's not raining, so it should have a reasonable amount of grip, even though it's a muscle car. I always feel like the Phoenix, I think, is a car that looks and sounds a lot cooler and a lot better than it actually is. It's a muscle car, and so it seems to have a reasonable amount of power, but it doesn't seem to be very good at actually putting it down. Maybe it doesn't have very good tyres, I'm not sure, but it seems to struggle quite a lot with actually being a good car, even though it's got makes lots and lots of engine noise and looks cool. But never mind. I think it's probably still better than the Prairie. That Ruiner that's going off that way, actually, that might have been a better shout, but never mind. I don't want to change cars too often, because changing cars is a bit risky, because it's a relatively slow process. There goes Mike again. He's still got that Prairie. So well done to him for sticking with it. And that pink car I can blow up should I feel the need, because that was a Jester, I think. So they're going to be very vulnerable to me blowing them up. So but I'm not going to now. I'm going to wait until it would actually be useful for me whilst in a chase, because blowing them up now would be funny, sure, but it wouldn't do me any good, because it would just be entertainment. Whereas if I blow them up during a chase, then it's actually useful for me. Okay, there is shooting happening. I don't like this. There is a mic behind me. That's not too much of a problem because, as previously discussed, he's not driving the best of cars. However, there are various other hunters around who are more problematic because some of them are driving... Oh, actually, that said, his Prairie is keeping up with my Phoenix alarmingly well. He seems... Yeah, he's actually keeping up. That's not right. The whole point... The whole reason you have a muscle car is that it's fast in a straight line. That Prairie, I thought it was a Prairie. Maybe it's not a Prairie. It's not a Prairie. It's a what's the name? Coupe. Felon. It's a Felon that I misidentified because he's mashed the front of it up so much. All right, I take back everything I said about it being quite cool that he's stuck with the Prairie from right at the beginning. Now, I wonder if those other hunters are still in their sports cars. Because I kind of want to blow them up, but they might have switched out of them. Stop it. See what I mean? The Phoenix struggles to get going, which is not what you want from an escape vehicle. Okay, there's one of the hunters in a red sports car. So let's do that. Now, part of me was hoping that the explosion would also take Mike out, but no such luck, unfortunately. It would have been a sort of a, I would have had to be fairly, slide, lucky for that. Yeah, see, this is the problem. You get into a slide, then you get T-boned by some jerk in an orange Felon, and then you just can't get the car moving again as fast as I would like to. Whereas the sports cars tend to be much nicer and much better at, just getting going again when you put your foot down. So, and the sports cars apparently include a Phoenix as well, even though it's not remotely a sports car. It seems to be a Phoenix Felon. The Felon seems to be doing rather too well at keeping up with me, which is a little bit upsetting. No, it's dropping back a bit now, actually. The muscle cars do tend to be a bit tougher, certainly than the sports cars, and I want to say probably the coupes as well. So maybe he's taken some damage that I didn't, or more damage than I did, and therefore it's impacting the performance of his car a little bit. Let's go through here. I think I know where the rocks are. That was a nice 360-degree no-scope. Mike has done it slightly better than I did, to be fair, in that he didn't crash. Oh, if they could have pushed me over the wall there, that would have been extremely handy, but I think there was some shooting happening, and therefore I don't want to be involved in that. Oh dear, this is going to be difficult because, as I said, Mike is in a better car than me. Mine is very slidey and starting to become a funny shape around the back as well. I should turn the circle off actually as soon as I find a straight line. There's two of the hunters having a minor altercation. Oop, it was already on the right one. There we go. Turn the circle off. Okay, I seem to be somewhat away, so something back there allowed me to get away. I shall look forward to seeing the videos later and finding out exactly what it was that allowed me to get away. There's one of the hunters zipped across in front of me then. If I go this way, then maybe I'm going to be able to get away. And from here, I can drop down onto the highway. That's usually a dangerous plan. But in this particular case, I don't think there's anyone right behind me, so it's probably alright. And it'll make it really obvious if anyone is still following me. And I can then skedaddle, just get out of here. And then start thinking about how I'm going to... Oop, let's not do that. Then start thinking about getting across the city for the next checkpoint. I am quite deliberately driving away from it because I've turned the I've turned the circle off, and therefore it's kind of unfair to drive towards the checkpoint with the circle off. What are you? No. And this means I can now take a minute or two to find myself another coupe to drive, because I don't want to get into another chase like that last one, because it feels like the only reason... Oh, there's a sports car there. All right, let's escalate to sports cars since that's quite a good one. All right, I know I said, oh come on, get out of the car quickly. Have a sense of urgency, please. Right, so we'll take this. Now sports cars are unlocked for the hunters, which is unfortunate because it means eventually they'll realise that I'm in a sports car and then they will start to use them as well. But that's sort of kind of inevitable, and I think it's probably worth it for now to give me that extra bit of a bonus. Not that button. That button. Ability. Enable turn the circle back on again. Right. So they now know that I'm over here. They're probably going to guess at some points fairly soon that I'm on the highway because I'm going fairly... Oh, now there's a felon. Because I'm going fairly quickly. My plan is, in case you're curious, is to follow the highway along, come off at the T-junction bit of the highway, head south, and then... I haven't really decided what to do then, because I'll need to get off the highway. Maybe take the jump off by Red Car Park, which is not subtle if there's a hunter around that area, but would get me almost on top of the checkpoint. Or there's Ed driving the wrong way up the highway, because they'd worked out I was on the highway by how fast I was going, which is fair. I mean, that's how you're supposed to... That's kind of how the game works. Actually, let's not take the jump. Let's try and be... Oh, there's my Voltic. Let's try and be good. And I'll come off here. Off a normal exit. Oh, this is onto the low way. That's less handy. Okay. This isn't quite what I meant to do. I can carry on following this, though. Ooh, actually... be slightly cheeky and come off here. Yeah, this works. From here, I can loop back round into the ghetto and then pop out to grab the checkpoint. That seems like a good plan. That red car was clearly a hunter. I don't think he saw me though. That green car, also a hunter. That pink one, again, also a hunter. Something unfortunate has happened to that muscle car there. That's very unfortunate. However, it's not my problem at the moment. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to head up this way. Get that checkpoint on this next corner. Oh. Yeah, there's nobody behind me. Good. There's nobody behind me except that recycling truck, which I don't care about because I don't think any of the hunters are going to be driving recycling trucks. Seems unlikely, doesn't it? Okay, I'll apparently go this way. I mean, fine. It's easier than turning round again. And I don't really... At this point, I don't really care where I go because I don't know where the next checkpoint's going to be. So I might as well just head straight up the city. Oh dear, that looks like a hunter. And I think I just skipped... I ran a red light. I did. Oh no, he's gone a different way. Thank goodness that. Right. Let's take a right turn here on the red because I can. And just get out. Just to break line of sight with where the hunter last was. Okay, up at the golf club. Oh, what's the best way to get to the golf club from here? It's a long way. But the highway isn't particularly helpful for getting there. This is just going to be a long old drive. Now, fortunately, I am in quite a nice sports car, so I can do that drive quite quickly. The hunters haven't noticed that I'm in a sports car yet, so they probably won't be using very many of them because they might just randomly, you know, explode. So... yeah, I guess I'll head along the south side of the freeway for a reasonable distance, and this is where being on the freeway might actually work. Then try and cross over at some point, and then head up to, yeah, just keep going north and west towards the golf club. Maybe I should go on the freeway. It's awkward to get onto the freeway from here, though. That's the other problem. Oh, unless I go through through the car park opposite Red Car Park and then drop onto the low way there, that could be quite good. It'll throw them off a little bit. Oh, there's some shenaniganry going on over there. Oh, Mike is stealing it, changing cars. Okay, into a sports car. Okay, so he's... Where did that felon come from? He just fell out of the sky. It's got Mike's attention though, so that's good. I think I'm actually going to turn right now, despite my previous intentions, because yeah, Mike has just executed that poor civilian. And is he stolen the car? No, he's taken the other car because it is a better car. Let's turn right here because I'm scared. Okay, Mike is going past at speed. That is interesting. That means the circle is probably up this way somewhere. There's shooting happening, so I can be a panicking AI. That's fine. I can come up here, and there is Pete changing cars. Are all the hunters just changing cars willy-nilly in front of me today? Oh, this is ridiculous. Okay, let's stop here. I don't like Tristan being in that car. It looks too good for a hunter to be allowed to have. Okay, got a green light, so let's keep moving. I'm going to go left here. I'm going to actually start driving towards the checkpoint now for the first time in a while, it feels. Try and make my way along here. It's quite a long drive to the checkpoint across the top of the city. But with the hunters sliding around, shooting around like this, maybe I'll have a chance of getting there. It is very, very wet suddenly, which is going to make the sports cars that bit more interesting to drive. But that's not going to be much of a help because we're all in sports cars at this point. So it doesn't give me an advantage. Okay, Mike has gone, so let's just go. Try not to be here. And I think run this... Oh, it's green anyway. Good. Mike has been changing cars a lot. There are orange cars scattered all over the city. But, I mean, fair. If he wants to keep changing cars, then he's well within his rights to do that. I have no problem with him doing that. Okay, I'm going to go up here. Get off this road because there's too many cars there. And then a left at the top here like that. And, okay, I am now getting very, very close. I feel like I'm getting pretty... Oh dear, here he comes. Did that work? That worked. I fooled him. Pulling up at the stop line and then going again is apparently sufficiently AI-like behaviour that he didn't think this was me. Good. This is why I sometimes stop at red lights. At least if I have a feeling there might be a hunter around, or if I'm just scared. Okay, there's that hedge in front of me has the golf club behind it, so I'm nearly there. Oh, I need to follow Mike now. That's the problem. He's just gone up that way, and I need to go that way. All right, not too. I see red lights everywhere else. Let's go. Must mean it's my turn to go. Okay. Well, I'm driving towards a hunter, but to be honest, that's often inevitable. There are enough of the hunters that almost wherever I go, there's probably going to be one. I seem to be getting investigulated. I don't like this. Bye bye. Oh no. Mike is shooting at me. I don't like that at all. Oh, I think I've lost a tyre. Yes, I have lost a tyre. I can hear it. And I'm on... Oh, and it's wet as well. I can't do anything at this point. The car just wouldn't move because it had a tyre shot out. What is it about the last checkpoint that makes it impossible to get? Oh, well, I think that's going to be it for tonight because I can't take any more.
Was he here?
Oh, what is it about the 5th checkpoint that suddenly makes the game 10 times as hard? Oh, dear.
What is this shotgun that you have to reload from the end with a flipping...
It's
got a musket.
A musket.
You can tell by because you have to reload it from the end.
I was going to say like a musket, but I can't remember the word musket.
The shotgun that you have to reload from the end. I love it.
Well, it only occurred to me that it wasn't a shotgun when I started asking about it.
Technically, it is a shotgun.
To
It's
be
in the
fair, it
shotgun
fires shot. Yeah. Actually, it's not. It's in the black powder class, which is separate.
That sounds like
I'm pleased with that shot. No, in GTA, it's in the shotgun class.
Oh, I see.
I broke the window, but it ain't broke. So I guess I can't fix it.
Yeah,
Right.
sometimes
I'm going to stop recording.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think same as.
That's enough.
I have an
enough runs.
NPC I can't kill, and I can't get
I
out of
didn't
the
record
car.
any of that because I haven't done this in so long. I forgot.
Ow.
Strange.
There's always one.
Well,
There is.
I get the staff, to be honest.
I did see you a few times, but oh well. C'est la vie.
Yeah, that's. I just haven't done this in like 3 months.
Has it been that long? Really? Blimey.
I don't.
I know it's been
if
about.
that
It's been at
long.
least three or 4 weeks since we last played. I think the last session The last session we had was shortly before Christmas to get the Christmas special recording. But yeah, it certainly has been a while.
Whee!
So
Gosh.
right, well, thank you everyone who's been watching. I hope you've enjoyed the show. It's been interesting.
Forgot there was,
For
forgot
some
there was a show.
for some reason, I seem to be completely incapable of taking the 5th checkpoint today. Even more so than normal. I really thought I had that last one because I was really close to it, and then Tristan just decided to investigate me, and there were too many of you guys around, and I thought I had to run. Then
Can
you shot
someone
at
on stream clip that with him saying he's completely incapable, please?
Ah.
and then someone shot out one of my tires, and it turns out a Feltzer in the rain with no rear tire just doesn't have any grip at all. So I was.
Oh,
doomed.
was that when you were spinning around the north side of the golf course?
Yeah.
Yep, that was me. You're welcome.
Grump, 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 grump.
I think that was with the pistol as well, so you can't complain that the sniper rifle's OP.
I wasn't. No, I mean that's sort of range I would expect you to be using a pistol, and because the fire rate is so much faster. Yeah, it's just frustrating because I was really actually there were 2 or 3 of those runs tonight where I was really close to getting the last checkpoint, and it just didn't happen. Ah, Johan has joined the stream now because he can.
Well,
Just in
I'm
time.
2 places. With and without delay.
Also, thanks to all the supporters. Hope you enjoyed it today.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it was
Great
fun.
fun. Thank you all for
Hope you'll
joining.
be back again next time, which I don't know when the next time will be. It'll probably be at least a couple of weeks because we're reckoning on doing these runs slightly less often than we did originally. But yeah, every 2 to 3 weeks is going to be fairly typical, I think. So
Yeah, I'm hooked. This is super fun.
yeah, it is. It is a lot of fun, even if I do keep dying. I'll have to let somebody else have a go at some point because I do have a lot of footage backlog. But
I'm mildly amazed that I got 2 kills than today. I think that's more than I got all of last year.
Doing something right.
were both of
New
them on
Year's
mic?
resolution.
No, it was you.
The thing I noticed about during the last run was just how many abandoned orange cars there were scattered around the city. Mike, you clearly have decision-making problems, or either that or you just wear cars out very quickly.
Not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one.
No, it's not.
Ooh,
It's
it
not
really
the.
is.
It's not the not that one, not that one, not that one. It's that one, then that one, then that one, then that one, then that one.
Good point. I'll drive this. Ah, it's terrible. I'll drive this one. Ah, it's terrible. I'll drive this one. Ah, it's terrible.
It's the same idea. It's the same idea.
Oh no, Laurence has blown this one up because it turns out I'm not allowed it yet. Guess I'll get another one.
I was very happy with that one at the beginning of the run when I took it. I don't even know how many of you it was, but
Yeah, I was very happy because I just got out of a very
5.
fast car that I'm sure I wasn't allowed.
And
Someone came round a corner, ran me over, and then exploded at the road in front of me.
5
Neil's
sounds
been
about
trying to get
right.
into the
It's certainly a lot of you, yes. Well, you say you say Manhunt is fun to watch because it's better than arguing with Al. I mean, to be honest, I think all the people who've been playing have probably spent the last 3 hours arguing with Al. Or was that meant to be an AI?
Hey yo.
Can't tell from the font.
Ew. I do get confused with an AI.
The police car runs were fun as well, actually. That worked quite well. Meant I didn't get to blow any of you up, but... Oop, there's a purple car abandoned in the middle of the road there.
Yeah, I got blown up quite a lot of times because I don't think I know the differences between the cars, you know?
You and the
Okay.
rest of us.
When you get into a car, it'll tell you what class it is, but that might be maybe too late or not soon enough.
Exactly
or
right.
Not late enough, or yeah.
Just
I
getting
do-
into the car, Laurence, you wouldn't be in it anymore. It wouldn't help anyone.
Sorry.
If you got into the car, you wouldn't be in it, and we need to know what car you're in, not what car he's in.
Yeah, but so I'm assuming that some people who are playing can identify cars, and therefore they can say, okay, sports cars are now unlocked.
I know you drove a lot of oracles. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think I saw a single oracle today.
No.
Thousands.
Oh, dear.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah, it's bedtime.
No,
Yeah,
that's
I think so.
Night all. Bye, chat.
Bonne nuit.
Night, everybody.
Yes. Bye bye, chat. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on Monday for the Factorio stream. Thanks for watching. See you then.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, Laurence.
Bye.